Hello, everybody, and welcome to SpeedGaming on Twitch. We're ready for some Crystal Full Item Randomizer. I'm going to be one of your commentators. My name is Glacial. I'm also on Twitch as PG Weaver. And joining me today is...
I'm Vandio. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well today. We've got a fantastic matchup today, honestly. I'm really excited for this race because I've been racing against both of these guys quite a bit in the past month or so. So I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup against BadNewsNate and Ralen Tankir. Should be a good one.
All right, so you're our resident expert then, because I've not raced either of you guys before.
Yeah, I've definitely done a bunch of races against Nate. So yeah, definitely both very good racers. Nate, I'd say in the top echelon, at the very minimum top 10 FIR racers, I would say. Although there are also a lot of people in this tournament that I don't know. So, but these guys are both definitely good racers. So we should have a great match today.
Yeah, and the tournament's full of a lot of people who are really experienced and a lot of people like me who have absolutely no idea what they're doing. So it's gonna be I feel like it's going to be a fun exchange no matter who or what you're watching.
It will be. It'll be a great time.
Yep. So while we wait for the race to get up and going, let's maybe talk a little bit about what exactly Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer actually is.
Yeah, so in this type of randomizer, we have, or actually, can we, are we able to get the race started? I believe I'm all set with the race time. So do I get it? I assume I get it started here.
Oh.
They are both ready and I am not ready, so okay. I'm gonna check with them real quick that they're both ready to go.
All right, well, while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and explain it just a little bit about what we've got randomized. So for the basic randomizer, for anybody who's not experienced or seen anything like this before, Crystal Randomizer is going to, at bare minimum, start with randomizing all of the Pokemon. So for this particular tournament, we've randomized all of the Pokemon in the wild, on the trainers, on the gift Pokemon. They're all completely mixed up. None of them are what they should be, unless they manage to randomize to themselves, which is a possibility, I suppose. The other thing we've done is we've randomized all of their movesets. So any Pokemon can know any move. You might find a Weedle that knows Thunderbolt, Psych Up, Toxic, and Crunch.
All right, and we are getting it started here.
Oh, good. The other thing that we've done is we've taken all of the items across the entire game, and we've also randomized them up. There is a mode that we have called Key Item Randomizer, where it just randomizes key items into other key item positions, so you would know exactly where the key items are going to be. You may not know which one's which, but you'll know, okay, this check is going to be a key item and this one won't. Well, Full Item Randomizer does away with all of that. All of the key items can be in any of the overworld check locations. So they can be in a gym, they can be in one of the Pokeballs that you can just find on a route.
Yeah, basically anywhere. So it's definitely a lot more in depth than key item randomizers. Bingos, it's is a whole nother beast in itself, to be honest. But so yeah, there's a lot more that you need to know for FIRs because there's just a lot more checks in general.
Yep. The one thing that we do, though, however, is we're kind of nice in that we're not going to make them check all of the hidden locations. Those are not included in the item pool. They're still randomized, and they could be anything when you pick them up. But you're not going to find the Thunder Badge as a hidden item in the underground, as an example.
Right,
They're all
right.
in overworld locations. So let's check our starters. We got a Spearow. We've got a Houndour. Not a fan of any of these just yet. And we've got a Staryu.
I think they're probably going to go with the Staryu. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, they're both taking the Staryu. That's probably what I would have done as well. Both because we're just already standing next to it, and because it's probably the best of those three.
Also, it's a Waterstone evolution, So if it happens to have, oh wow, that's a good move set. I saw Flamethrower Blizzard. So if they get a Water Stone sometime soon, that's already honestly a good main.
Yeah, that's not terrible at all. And you can get a Water Stone in the Goldenrod department store. And in fact, I suspect that we're going to see them picking them up anyways because it's needed for a check a little bit later.
Yep, there are 4 treasure rooms in the Ruins of Alph, and one of them requires you to have a Water Stone, so it already works out.
Yep. The one thing that they've got to be a little bit cautious about is that I'm pretty sure that in this gen, all of the stone evolutions have no level up movesets.
Yep. So it does kind of make it an interesting start here, because on one hand you've got a decent moveset on the starter already, and the starter's got a little bit of an advantage because it starts at level 5 compared to all the wild pokes, but there's also the fact that they might find something else in the wild, a better Pokemon, but maybe not as good of a moveset. So it'll be an interesting balance here.
Yep. I like what BadNewsNate did just to begin. Oh, hold up, never mind.
Oh, nice.
That's TM08. So TM08 is one of the TMs that don't have their moves randomized. It is a set move. TM08 is always going to be Rock Smash, and that's important because Rock Smash locks a couple of checks. Normally, to get TM08, you have to actually wake up the Sudowoodo and then talk to the guy nearby to get his item, and then go back to the department store, and then you can buy Rock Smash. But having found the randomized one that the guy normally gives you, they can just teach Rock Smash now and go get the Rock Smash checks. There's three checks. Hold up, there's Surf. Too much is happening!
Wow, there's getting Surf this early is very good.
Especially since he's got water.
Rollins might be in trouble here if he doesn't catch this. He might be dead to another drill peck. Oh, he got in the ball. Very nice. Okay.
Okay, so I like that catch from him because he's going to have Stab, Surf, and Drill Peck on the Blastoise. And Mega Horn.
Oh, sorry. I forgot how much to talk. Bone Rush, Mega Horn, Drill Peck, and he's going to have Surf. That's quite good.
That's very good.
Looks like Nate might be sticking with the Staryu, though.
It's not a bad idea. I think the Blastoise is definitely going to be better, at least in the short term. If they can find that... Hold! They found a Water Stone.
They found a Water Stone. I must have missed that. Was it the hidden item? If so, that's insane.
Okay, and... this start is... Oh, and it's got and they've got a Zap Cannon, too. What is this start?
This is crazy.
This start is ridiculous. So
wow, that's a really good Starmie starter.
Yeah, so going back to... it is the hidden item outside of Mr. Pokemon's house. So going back to what I was saying earlier, Rock Smash will let them get 4 checks, 3 in Dark Cave and 1 on the other side of it. But something else it will let them do that they... Honestly, their starters are really pretty good. They may not even bother. But what it can also let them do is they can check the Rock Smash Pokemon. And the Rock Smash Pokemon starts at level 15.
I believe it's... Oh yeah, they are 15s, you're right, yep. Yeah, so that can be a big boost in levels this early is generally quite good. Looks like Ralen is going to repel early, repelling through these earlier routes. Maybe senses that he might be behind a little bit because he's gotten quite a few encounters compared to Nate. Obviously he doesn't know that, but he has gotten quite a few encounters in general.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I would also probably have repelled at this point. Like, I generally spend a minute outside Mr. Pokemon's house just checking the encounters and catching stuff, and then I'll take the free heal, and then I'll just repel straight outside his house, and that'll get me all the way to the cave entrance.
Right, yeah. Looks like Rollins actually running with the Blastoise, which is interesting. I definitely did not expect him to switch to the Blastoise with picking up that Water Stone. Yeah,
it's an interesting one. I'm not sure which one is stronger overall. I think I would need to check this. I think the Starmie has the better special stat.
Yeah, Blastoise is more mixed. I believe it's got just about the same attack and special.
Yep. Bad News Nate is teaching Rock Smash, so it looks like he's going to, and then saving. Yep. So he's going to go and probably do those 4 or 5 checks in Dark Cave and see if anything shows up. And the save is because if he doesn't find anything worth keeping, he can. Oh, there's the Marsh Badge.
Marsh Badge, nice.
If he doesn't find anything worth keeping, he can reset, and that'll let him skip Rival 1. So the Rock Smash Pokemon is a Caterpie, which I don't think either runner is going to be terribly interested in.
Oh wow, he's actually not gonna.
Oh.
He just wanted to check the Rock Smash encounter, so he's not gonna check all of the items, just the one.
Fascinating. I wonder if Ralen will. It is worth noting that the randomizer's logic means that you'll never have to do a dark room. I had honestly thought that this Marsh Badge check right here was in logic without Flash, but apparently it's not. And so even if they were to find everything, it doesn't. Whatever they find back here is technically not in logic until they have both the Zephyr Badge and HM05.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a debate. I've been talking about several other runners with it about it recently, where it's definitely an interesting choice whether or not people want to grab that item the first time through, because basically every time it's not in logic. Oof!
Did you
I
see
didn't even
that?
see what happened.
Ralen just got so the Caterpie knows Thunder, and Ralen got.
Oh wow. Oh, so Ralen is going for those items. Okay, interesting.
Yep, it looks like it. Meanwhile, Bad News Nate took a quick second to go shopping and spent all of his money on a lone escape rope, which seems a little odd. But if you go to the Ruins of Alph and use the escape rope in the first room, it'll open up this secret back room with 4 items. And if you find something there worth selling, he'll make all of his money back.
Ooh, nice. Nugget. You got a nugget and a max elixir and lost item. Lost item is what we trade in at Saffron with the copycat girl, and she'll give us an item.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ralen managed to find Waterfall. Found HM07.
I didn't even notice whether or not he saved. Oh, nope. Looks like he's taking the long way back around. He's gonna have to do the Rival 1 fight.
Yep, he did save right after picking up the Marsh Badge, but it looks like he wants to hold on to that Waterfall. So that's out of logic, meaning that anything that if he finds the Rising Badge before finding both the Zephyr Badge and Flash, anything beyond that is technically not something that he should have access to yet, but the game doesn't enforce that. And if he finds something good, that's an advantage that he will have that Bad News Nate won't, because Bad News Nate didn't check those.
Yep, I think that's a good choice, just keeping Waterfall. Even because even if things aren't in logic, that means that you might get them far before someone else who doesn't do that check.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely would have done what Ralen has done here and gone and done those checks and gotten the Waterfall. I just think it's better as long as you remember what is in and out of logic, so you're not checking the back of Mount Mortar to try and find your Zephyr Badge.
Right.
As long as you can remember what's in and out of logic, I think sequence breaking in at least things like that, super valuable.
Looks like Nate's going through some trouble with this Lugia.
Yeah, that Lugia is not particularly nice. Lugia is the more defensively oriented of the 2 legendary birds from this gen, but that doesn't really seem to be mattering very much, especially when it knows Thrash.
Nate finally hitting a blizzard, but it doesn't quite kill. And he's fully paralyzed. Definitely not on the better end of RNG right now.
No, he made the decision to not do Sprout Tower, which is probably the more common of the 2 places to start in Violet City, just because there's a bunch of items and there's a bunch of experience waiting for you if you do, so that you can then go into the gym and not have to struggle quite so hard.
Yeah. Although that was a level 7, so it's kind of surprising it was giving him that much trouble. But
it's a legendary.
Works that way sometimes.
It's a legendary. Like, it's a box art legendary. Its base power is like 650 or something. It's gonna be strong.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Real quick, I just wanted to bring up. Thank you so much to SpeedGaming for restreaming this tournament. We're gonna have lots of races going on for the next several weeks and honestly probably months. I'm not sure about the timeline for the rest of the tournament, but this round of the tournament's lasting 3 weeks. So we will have plenty of these matches going on. We've got another one later today, actually another 2 later today, both happening on SpeedGaming 5, I believe. So feel free to check those out.
And if
also,
you like the dulcet sounds of my voice, you'll see me on one of those again.
Nice. Love to hear that. Also, I wanted to mention that this layout that we're using today was made by Oro and adapted by Feasel to work for the tournament. And the tracker that you see on screen for all the items was made by Unphantasmamus. I don't know how to pronounce that. My apologies if that was butchered. But thank you guys so much for making all these assets for us.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much that goes into putting on a tournament like this. Some of it is the people who are running and the people who are talking, but so much of it is the people that you will probably never hear their names unless we specifically call them out. And so we always want to make sure that they receive the recognition that they're due, because this is a lot of work and so many people are required, or this just wouldn't happen.
For sure. All right, so it looks like Ralen is opting to do the Sprout Tower first, so they're actually like pretty close. Although Nate has already done the gym and the escape rope room. I don't think Ralen went for the escape rope room first.
Ralen's dropping Bone Rush and taking Sacred Fire instead. I don't hate that as a decision, because I'm trying to remember everything on his moveset, but I feel like he was going to struggle with at least one type without fire, but I'm not entirely certain.
I didn't see what he replaced. Did you replace Megahorn?
No, he replaced Bone Rush.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think the biggest thing that's going to give him is Steel type coverage, because Fire would have. I mean, the Drill Peck will cover Bug, and Megahorn, when it hits, will cover Grass. Right.
Yeah. I suppose. But Ground also does cover Steel, so I wonder what. I guess he's wants to go for more of a special moveset, I suppose.
It looks like it. Meanwhile, hey, here's another HM. We've got Whirlpool at the top of Sprout Tower.
Very nice, very nice. Always good to see that Sprout Tower is required.
Yep. So at this point, they're basically going to be matching each other. BadNewsNate has already blitzed his way to the top of the tower. Ralen's about to go and charge through the gym, and then they're going to sync back up, and they're going to head south, down, towards Azalea. It's worth mentioning at this point, more or less, that you can kind of think of this game as being broken up into 4 major regions. There's Lower and Upper Johto, or North and South Johto, and then there's East and West Kanto. And each one has certain items that are required to access them. Right now, all they have access to is Lower Johto, so starting at the beginning of the game and going up to Goldenrod. By the time they get there, they need to have found something that gives them access to one of the other areas, or they're stuck. Obviously, that can't happen, so the question is, what are they going to find?
Unfortunate for Ralen here. It looks like he had to switch out, but the 9 didn't quite finish off Staryu, so it took some of the XP from Blastoise, unfortunately.
Oof. That's always painful. So at this point, Nate is definitely ahead. Nate is grabbing his egg. I suspect he's gonna. Oh no, he's going just straight for a heal. The trade-off, though, is that Ralen had much less heartache with that Lugia. And he's taught Giga Drain over Sacred Fire.
Interesting. That's definitely an interesting choice. I mean, having a heal move is definitely useful, but Giga Drain, notably quite weak and only 5 PP, so...
yeah.
And he's regretting it right now? Oh, just kidding, he still has Sacred Fire. Oh, he taught over... What was his other move?
He must have taught over Megahorn.
I guess he taught over Megahorn. He's going for a more special moveset.
He is going for a special moveset. That's an interesting choice. I personally, I don't think that there's very many grass moves worth running. I can't think of, like, maybe Razor Leaf, maybe.
Razor Leaf and then possibly Pedal Dance are really the only two, honestly.
Yeah.
Even Mega Drain, like I think that's only 10 PP, and it's just not that good. There's always better move, basically always better that you can choose.
Yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing is that you don't really need grass moves terribly often. The bad news is you need something for water types, which are almost always really bulky and really hard to kill, and your best options are going to be grass or electric. So you really want to find Thunderbolt or Thunder Punch in a pinch.
Yeah, those are definitely the electric moves overall are just they offer better coverage because yeah, they just pair better with a lot of the other types of moves in terms of general overall coverage. Because electric and ice, having one of each of those moves is nearly perfect coverage to where you can hit almost every Pokemon in the game regularly, effectively.
Yep. And there's actually a website you can go to where it will let you select up to 4 types, and it will just show you which, like, every Pokemon in the game and what the best you can hit it for is. Ice Electric is really good coverage. So is I'm trying to remember the normal type coverage that's really good. I'm pretty sure it's something like it's physical, fighting, and I think ground lets you hit like ridiculous amounts of stuff for super effective damage even.
Yeah. Are you saying for physical Pokemon?
Yeah.
Good coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Gen 2, because in Gen 2, for those of you that don't know, in Gen 2, it's not the physical special split is determined solely by type. So in Gen 2, all ghost moves are physical, and all of the evolution types plus dragon are special, and everything else is physical. So in Gen 2, perfect coverage for a physical Pokemon is just ghost and fighting, and you can hit every Pokemon in the game normally effectively.
Okay, I wasn't entirely certain on that.
Yeah, so it makes it a bit easier, but also there's not very many good ghost moves. So basically, you're looking for only Shadow Ball.
Yeah, it's you've got like the one option. That said, there's a lot of really good normal moves, and normal can hit everything except Steel, Rock, and Ghost for at least for neutral specifically, because they can't hit anything for super effective.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess I don't blame Ralen here for going for a more special moveset. I don't think I would have made the same choice necessarily, because he already had a pretty good mostly physical and plus surf, which is typical for a Blastoise. Either you're going surf, basically you're always having surf, and then either 3 other physical moves or 1 physical move and 2 other special moves. So it looks like he just wanted to choose the special. Probably I think his Blastoise is actually female, so which might have been the reason he chose to do that, because in this generation, gender actually is determined by the attack stat for most Pokemon.
Yep, it was
with
weird.
Some exceptions.
It was weird. They needed something that existed in Gen 1 to correlate with the gender in Gen 2, because in Gen 1 there was no gender. They made the very strange decision to make that the base stat, or your attack DV, in order to determine gender, which leads to, I'm going to assume it was an unintended consequence of all the female Pokemon being weaker physically than all the male Pokemon. If you're right, then yeah, you are right. It is a female Blastoise. That means that his Blastoise's DV is, I think, 0 to 2. Because it's a starter, so it's 7/8 male.
Oh yeah, that's right. Since it's a starter, it's 1 and 8 for female. You're correct.
Oof.
So yeah, he definitely knows that his attack is bad. So that's probably why he went with the more physical, the more special moveset.
Yeah, it's hard to blame him for that. Meanwhile, BadNewsNate has run into the bane of my run experiences. Oh my god, I hate Slowking.
Slowking is definitely rough, and it's got Giga Drain, so that's really tough. Without, does he not have a? Oh, he's going flamethrower.
Yeah, so the thing with Slowking is that Slowking it's bulky, it's fairly defensive, and every single time I run a special attacker, my main attacking moves are always Surf, some form of Ice type, and then like Flamethrower if I'm lucky. And so it always resists all of my moves, and it is the worst. And then to add insult to injury, it's also part Psychic type, so it gets all of Psychic's resistances as well.
Yep. So it looks like Ralen actually won't have too much of an issue with that, I don't believe, because he's got Giga Drain. But BadNewsNate got lucky, and luckily the Slowking didn't use more Giga Drain on him on Starmie after he revived.
I think it was out of it.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought it might be. I didn't see how many times it had used it, but
it's only got 5, and I think he heal stalled it a little bit and then had for Alligator.
I see. Okay, so Ralen might catch up a little bit based on that, but he's still got quite a bit of ground to make up. He's where is he at right now?
He is doing the last fight of Slowpoke Well, so he's almost done in there.
Okay, I see. So the that Slowking was on Bugsy then. Okay, I was thinking that was that Nate was still in the Slowpoke Well.
Nope, Slowking is actually on the rival.
Oh, it's the rival. Okay, gotcha.
Which is even more painful because anybody who's ever tried to speedrun this game knows that rival fight is painful.
Yep, especially in the base game, because they decided in Gen 2 that high crit rate moves are going to be 1 in 4 instead of 1 in 8.
Yep.
So yep, we got Ralen starting Bugsy here. Oh, I see. Nate did Rival 2 and then did check the Ilex items and then checks Charcoal and comes back for Bugsy. Okay.
Yeah. So Nate is just ahead via the Charcoal check, basically. He popped his head in there, saved the Farfetch'd, grabbed the item in the Farfetch'd puzzle area, and then checked the Charcoal, and I'm pretty sure it was a TM.
And he's also ahead the Rival fight.
Yeah, and he's ahead the Rival fight, which is probably the biggest thing. I think he's also got a level advantage at this point.
Yeah, he probably had a slight little advantage from the start.
17 to 19. He's got a little bit of a level advantage. It's not much, though, and it's going to get smaller as time goes on. Plus, depending on what the breakout item they find is, they might not end up keeping either of these Pokemon, to be honest with you, because by the next city or just past it, they're going to have found one of 2 items. They're either going to have to have found the Squirt Bottle or the Pass. There's no other options. One of those 2 will show up. If they find the Squirt Bottle, then they can get past the Sudowoodo and they can go into Northern Johto. If they find the Pass, though, they'll end up in Eastern Kanto. And the thing with Eastern Kanto is, depending on where you look, you can find Pokemon all the way up to level 38.
Yeah, early Kanto access definitely lends itself to switching to new mains almost every time. Ooh, looks like Ralen having some trouble with this Azumarill.
Yeah,
paralyzing him with Body Slam.
So somebody pointed out that what they might actually find is the Fog Badge, and okay, I'll grant you that they could find the Fog Badge, but the only thing that the Fog Badge would lead them to is one of those 2 items. Oh, yeah, there's the Fog Badge.
Yeah, he called it. Wingage called it.
And the Basement Key.
Wow. Okay. Fog Badge and Basement Key. So that's actually that's interesting because I believe based on the settings we're using for this tournament that early basement is not in logic. But there's a pretty good chance that Nate will check it early, as soon as he goes to Goldenrod, if he has the levels to do so. And there's Zephyr Badge as well.
Man, that's a lot. That shocks me because I think I've counted it, and if you try and do early basement, it's like an extra 12 fights.
I meant like before rockets. Oh, it looks like they have, unless they get 7 badges. If they get up to 7 badges, then all the rockets will be in the basement, and then that's rough. But
That's the pass.
before, okay, there's the pass. Yep, Nate will probably beeline to Kanto. Then we'll see. But yeah. So if you try to do basement before you have 7 badges, none of the rockets, Team Rocket members will be there, and you can just check all those items. But oh, interesting, Nate not grabbing that surf item there. I expected him to quick grab
Meanwhile,
that.
speaking of surf checks, Ralen has turned around and gone back into Union Cave, and he's checking the basement items in Union Cave. I hope something is here.
Yeah, that would definitely be a nice leg up for Ralen, and it's really this ROM is actually showing off. Even it's kind of crazy to see it this early, but these two have taken quite different routes already. So Ralen going back, and he has waterfall. Also, these folks are higher level in the basement, so he might find something useful. But alas, he will get the pass shortly after this, and so he probably won't end up keeping that. But Ralen, so getting early waterfall, and then also going back early as soon as he sees fog badge. So we're already seeing very different routes from these two.
Yep. BadNewsNate just checked the. Oh, it was double nugget. BadNewsNate just checked the Mart TMs. I didn't see anything that looked terribly interesting. There was one that may cause confusion, which might be kind of useful. Probably not.
Interesting. I'm surprised that with the 2 nuggets, Rollins still decided to reset because he had decided to save right outside Bugsy's gym. So in case those items weren't useful, he could reset and continue along Southern Johto. If I were in his shoes, I might have actually kept those because I mean, having 2 nuggets is definitely useful when you get to Goldenrod and you want to buy a bunch of X items and whatnot.
Yeah, I kind of understand it though, to be honest with you, because key item randomizer, you're always hurting for money. Full item randomizer, your bags are always full and you're swimming in the stuff. So like I kind of get saving away those 2 nuggets, but it's still a pretty expensive hit. BadNewsNate is doing the quiz. This normally gets you the radio card in the base game, but in this, again, it's just another check here. And right now it's an elixir. For anybody who has not done this before, it's AABAB, which you can just do immediately by mashing the proper buttons.
I didn't see if either of those items were useful that Nate got on the radio tower. Okay, interesting. I expected him. So he does the save for Bike Shop, and then he resets if it's not a good item. So he still has that save. I'm surprised that he wouldn't reset when he sees that the radio card items aren't good.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody save for the Bike Shop before. I've seen saves for a couple of checks, like this one, sometimes, but I've never seen a save for the Bike Shop. That's a new one to me. I kind of like it though.
It saves time because if you save, so first of all, obviously it's pretty obvious for probably for most of you watching, but for those of you that don't know, if you save and come back, and you do a check that maybe takes you far out of the way, if it's not a useful item, you can reset, and then you save the time of having to bike or walk all the way back to where you started.
I just realized it skips the phone call, doesn't it?
It does skip the phone call. Yes, that's what makes it faster to do that. And then also you still have that save point. So what I've seen other people doing is you can use that save to go to the radio tower, and you can check the radio card first, and then check Buena's item at the top. And if both of those are not useful, you can reset again because you still have that save point, and then you save having to walk back down the radio tower.
Yep. So I was watching Ralen. He actually did get the surfing item that BadNewsNate chose to skip, and it turns out it was a super repel. So not gonna cost him anything to have missed that. Maybe $500.
Yeah, I kind of understand why Nate. I think Nate shares the same sentiment that I do. That if you're gonna check that item, that you might as well check soft sand girls while you're there. That's generally what I do. But not everyone does like that.
I hate that check because every time I do it, I never need it, and so I stopped doing it, and then I started needing it all the time, and it's just awful. I don't like that check anymore.
That's just how randos are sometimes. That's how it be. So Ralen buying some lots of items most likely here. Probably I think the goal for most players is to be able to, by the time you get to Goldenrod, you want to be able to buy X items and you want to be able to buy X items and whatever else you need, full heals, escape ropes. The rest of that, you want to be able to buy all of that you need for the rest of the game. Looks like Ralen's going to save and check if this is a Psychic TM, but if it's Confusion or Psybeam, he might reset it away. Oh, Dizzy Punch, okay.
I'm pretty sure the Psychic TM may reduce special defense. I don't think it actually is the may cause confusion one.
You may be right about that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that may drop special defense is Psychic, Shadow Ball, and like one other move. There's only like 3 things that can bait, and I think all 3 of them are decent enough. Crunch, yes, thank you, Garfield the Lightning. It is Crunch. Like all 3 moves are decent, but Psychic is by far the best of those 3.
Ralen also doing the save scam for the bike shop item.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. That's a lot smarter than me being dumb. Meanwhile, BadNewsNate has decided, well, you've gotten me this far, and I appreciate it, Starmie, but let's see what else is here real fast. So he's taught Sweet Scent for Alligator, and he's going to duck into this grass, and he's going to see what he can find. Because this grass has Pokemon between, like, level 28 and, like, level 34 or something. They're, like, 10 levels higher than the Starmie at a minimum. So if he finds something even remotely worth working with here...
Mr. Mime is decent. Oh, he's trying to run from it. He does not want the Mr. Mime. No Mr. Crime for Mr. Nate.
I'm not surprised he's not a particularly large fan of the Mr. Mime. I'm pretty sure it's both frail and not particularly strong in terms of attack either.
Yeah, it's got decent special. Definitely not the best, though.
Yeah, it's got base 100 special, and it's a base 460 Pokemon. But, I probably would not run Mr. Mime unless it had, like, Beam Bolt. And even then I'd think about it.
Looks like Nate's unfortunately only finding 2 of the slots right now.
I think each encounters has, like, 7 slots, right? Is it 7?
It definitely has a lot of slots. I don't know how many. Wow, he keeps finding that Mr. Mime, though.
It is at least 7. It is potentially more. Meanwhile, Ralen did a neat little trick where if you set the game to Saturday, you can actually start the bug catching contest, which then allows you to go on that long adventure to that item that's all the way in the back. And then you can just quit the contest and it will warp you out. It's actually quite nice, and it saves like 15 or 20 seconds of running. Alright, here's the Mart check.
Looks like no particularly good TMs there.
Nah, you're looking for may drop special defense or may cause paralysis, something like that. Something that might be Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, something like that. But he is going to go ahead and he's going to get a couple revives, some potions, and did he grab max repels or no? I couldn't tell.
I don't think so. Okay, he's grabbing super repels.
He was worried about money. So he stopped, grabbed a couple of full heals, and then got super repels for the rest. Ralen's about to find what I think was a TM? Yeah, TM19. Not happy with that. Immediately resets. And
okay, well, at least he had the save right there. He accidentally bonked and hit this optional right here. It's definitely easy to do.
Meanwhile, BadNewsNate is being told a little bit too much about this guy's love of Rapidash. Just gets an awakening for his trouble. May as well. And then is going into Surge's gym? Oh, yeah.
Nope, he's checking the harbor. So these Pokemon are actually higher level than Cycling Roads. I'm kind of surprised he didn't check here first. But, so they're 35 plus up to 4 levels. So, that Drowsy was 35 plus 1. So, and any encounter slot can be any of those levels. So, I believe there's at least 3 slots in the harbor, or in Vermilion Waters. There's also, he can go to the Vermilion Harbor, and those are actually separate encounter slots, and those are also 35 plus 0 to 4.
I wasn't aware that was how that worked. I knew that there were Pokemon, and I knew they could be high level, but I wasn't aware that they could be like all of the different levels. I don't end up doing the harbor checks very often.
Nate actually getting quite unlucky here, and he keeps getting the same encounter slots no matter where he goes. He just found, I think, 3 Drowsies in a row. It's quite unfortunate, actually.
Yeah. So he's gone into the actual port now, just outside the ship, and he's checking this. And the first is a Grimer.
Not exactly what you're looking for.
Nah. I mean, even with a rare candy, I wouldn't run amok. I didn't mean to do that, but I like it.
Yeah, probably not. But it looks like he's so he's still at that save point from the Vermilion Waters. So he just went in here and he didn't save again. So if he doesn't find something he wants, he can just reset out and he'll be back in Vermilion in Vermilion City. One thing that we haven't really mentioned too much, I don't think, is neither of these players have found either part of Fly, and so there's early logic in this game to in specifically for this tournament. It's a little bit different than normal, but there is logic for these players to be able to find Fly before a certain point.
Yep.
So there's certain checks that bar either HMO2, which is the Fly itself, and Storm Badge, which lets you use Fly outside of battle.
Yep, so there's 5 different restrictions on where those 2 items can be, and neither of them will be located behind any of these 5. So first off, you're not going to need to enter Route 44, which is the route to the east of Mahogany that connects it up with Blackthorn, Claire's gem. You can't access that until 7 badges anyways, but it's not going to be there. Second, you'll never have to enter Misty's gym. Third is that it will not be past Tojo Falls, so it's not going to be up that way towards the Elite Four. You're also not going to need to wake the Snorlax, which means that it won't be in West Kanto. And the last one, which has the potential to be the biggest restriction, or the smallest restriction of the 5, is you're not going to have to take the boat. And that's the interesting one.
Nice. I just caught that. Nate just nicknamed his Starmie Easton. Not surprised by that at all. Taking a little time, even in a tournament, to do that.
I feel like there's a story there that I'm not aware of.
I believe there's just a player named Easton, and that's his favorite Pokemon. I honestly am not very well versed in the meme lore of the Crystal Rando community, but I just know that anytime a lot of players, there are several players that are in on it, and a lot of them, if they get a Starmie, they name it Easton. That's just kind of how it is.
Nice. Yeah. So, BadNewsNate couldn't find anything that he liked, so he's just gone back to Goldenrod. He's doing Whitney's gym. He's taught Aurora Beam over Blizzard, which I actually like. It's less power, but it's better accuracy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. Looks like Ralen actually found a Pidgeot in the harbor. Oh, with drill peck. Wow. Okay, that's
Oh
something
dear.
decent. He taught it. I think it also had horn attack if I saw that correctly, and it has. He gave it a few PP ups to the drill peck. Makes sense. And he taught it ancient power.
Yep, it looks like it's also going to be a female though. However, I think Pidgey has a 50-50 split, so its DV for attack could be as high as 7.
Yeah, honestly, when you're higher level, like much higher level as well, and you have a very strong stab move, female versus male really isn't going to matter that much.
No, I think it's the difference of like 30, 25, something like that stat points at level 100, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, it looks like definitely Ralen definitely catching up a bit in that respect, because it took so long for Nate to try and find something, but to no avail. He didn't find anything he wanted, so he actually came all the way back to Johto, and he's probably gonna go back and do a lot of the earlier surfing checks. That's
Yep.
Rainbow Wing he found. So
That's an interesting item for later. It's not going to do him any good right now. So if I was running this seed, and this is just me personally, but if I was running this seed, the item I would like to see is probably the SS Ann ticket. And the reason for that goes back to the whole fly thing. If they find the SS Ann ticket and they don't find the squirt bottle, that means the squirt bottle is probably either in Northern Kanto or locked behind something that is in Northern Kanto. If that's the case, why did I say Kanto? Northern Johto. If that's the case, that means that neither Fly nor the Storm Badge can be anywhere in Northern Johto, because that means you will have to have ridden the boat to get there. Riding the boat.
Yes, that's true.
Riding the boat is one of the restrictions on our Fly. So if they don't find the squirt bottle before getting access to Northern Johto, then all of Northern Johto is locked out of Fly, and it gives them much fewer places to check. Of course, if they find the squirt bottle, then literally the only restriction is it cannot be the item on the SS Ann itself. So it has the potential to lock out like 100 items or something, or it has the potential to lock out 1, and it really just depends. It's the biggest coin flip in the entire game, I swear to God.
Nate, with a small little backtrack, forgot to pick up Kenya, which is a 3-part quest where you grab the Kenya, the gift Pokemon essentially from the man at the guard shack, and then you bring it to someone on Route 31, and then after you bring the Pokemon back, you can go back to the guard again, and so both the guy you bring the Pokemon to and the guard will give you an item.
Yep. He'll also have a couple of more options here as well. So because he didn't have Surf when he came through here the first way, first he'll be able to get the items in the basement of Union Cave. We know what they are. They're 2 nuggets. However, what he'll also be able to get, which Ralen will not have checked, is that there are 2 items in Violet City itself. One behind the little lake next to the gym, and one behind the little lake just outside of Sprout Tower. Both of those have an item. And then all the way back in Cherry Grove, if he goes that far, there is a 3rd item he can check by talking to the guy on the island.
And even further back, east of New Bark Town, there's 2 more items there, before Tojo Falls and then south of Tojo Falls as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of surf checks that are just the worst to get if you have to get them before Fly, and you don't have the squirt bottle for the easy route back. That said, if something like Fly is back there, that's a massive bonus to him, because I don't see Ralen going back for those quite as quickly.
Yeah, but even then, though, that's still only one part of Fly. If he finds both, that's absolutely huge. But it at this point in the game, it would only be one part of Fly, so he might, it might still. Oh yeah, that's right. There's also the Zephyr Badge check that Ralen didn't go back for. Yep.
We forgot about that one.
Yep, it's pretty forgettable. So after you get, normally in the game, when you beat Faulkner, he gives you the Zephyr Badge, and so that guy gives you a Miracle Seed. So you don't get the Zephyr Badge right away necessarily in this game. Yeah, obviously it can be anywhere, so it's just whenever you actually get the Zephyr Badge, that guy will give you an item. Nate forgetting to repel again, I think. I don't think he can get encounters in these waters. He's level 21. I'm not sure actually what the level range is in the Violet water.
I'm not sure either. I don't have them all memorized. I think I've found a level 23 there before, but that could just be my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah, I don't recall. It looks like Ralen is actually going all the way to the super odd item. I imagine he save scammed to check what it is. It's an amulet coin. Oh, maybe he didn't. He might actually be doing rock tunnel blind. He might try.
I like the blind rock tunnel move. BadNewsNate went ahead and checked the Kenya before turning it in, just in case it was something worth running. Kenya does get boost. Oh, their strength. Kenya does get boosted experience, so if you need to get Kenya up to snuff, especially because he didn't find anything in Kanto, it wouldn't have been the worst option. It wouldn't have been great, especially with how low level it is and how late it is into the run. But it would have been an option. But he turned in Kenya and he got HM04 strength, which is more checks in lower Johto. Actually, he can get the Waterstone room check in the Ruins of Alf, and he can do both of the checks in Slowpoke well now. But first, he's going all the way back to Cherry Grove for that guy that we mentioned off on the island. And there's your bicycle.
I'm actually really surprised that Nate didn't take the. Okay, so he is going through Dark Cave, so he's probably going to go all the way back to New Barktown to check the items east of that as well. So they're both going through blind. So these items technically aren't in logic, but it may be useful for Nate to check them now, or for either of them to check them now, because they have one part of Flash. So the other part of Flash requirement, which is the HM itself, may be somewhere that they just haven't checked yet, and so these items would then be in logic.
Yep, and navigating these blind is not the hardest thing in the world. All of the items, you can actually see the physical items as well. So if you just pull up a map, and there's the Pokedex. Ralen's got his menus messed up now. Or, no, he doesn't. He reset. So if you pull up a map and just do a plot where you just go in straight lines until you hit things and then turn, or you move one tile and then go another direction, you can navigate through pretty much any dark cave in the game pretty easily.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so Ralen actually, he save scammed all of those items. The Super Rod and all of Rock Tunnel.
Yeah, which probably isn't the worst thing, given that the Super Rod is not the most useful thing in the world, and he managed to get his hands on the Pokedex.
Yeah.
Which you do not want.
Hey, yeah, it ruins your menuing. But yeah, it looks like Nate is going back to most likely the Waterstone Chamber at this point. I don't think he went. So he didn't go all the way back to New Barktown. So what he did, he went all the way through Dark Cave, got to the very end, saved, and then checked the item right outside Dark Cave. And then when it wasn't something useful, he reset and escape roped out to go back to the Violet side.
Yeah, I guess doing the Tojo Falls checks was just a little bit too much. But yep, so here's the Waterstone check. So for this one, you need Surf to get into this area of the of Union Cave. You need Strength to move this rock in particular, and that will bring you outside to a cave entrance that is on a ledge, so this is the only way to get to it. And then once inside, if you bring a Waterstone into the chamber itself, the secret door will open and you'll have 4 more checks. Wouldn't it be crazy if you found HM05 here? Because then you could go straight to the Flash Chamber.
Oh yeah, that'd be really convenient for him. I imagine he's gonna find some form of progress right now.
He might. There's still a couple of Kanto checks I don't think anybody's done yet, but yeah, they're getting... No, there's nothing there.
Nada. And he actually save scammed that so that he can just... he's still in here so he can escape rope out.
I don't think he wants to escape rope out, because he wants to get through Union Cave out the south entrance by Azalea.
True, yeah.
He still doesn't have access to Fly or the Squirt Bottle. If somebody's pointing out progression's going to be in Tojo because both runners have skipped it. Yeah, probably. That just seems to be the way it goes sometimes. But he's headed to Slowpoke well, I would imagine, at this point.
Yeah, that's most likely what's going to happen.
Yep.
So what he actually could have done there though is he could have gone all the way through Union Cave, popped out the other side, and then gone back in, so that when he escape ropes out, he could be on the south side. I've seen a couple people do that. I don't know if it's actually faster every time or not, but that's another small thing that saves time, possibly, or another strat, I should say. I still don't know if it saves time.
Actually, I think it would.
It might, yeah. If you're assuming you're not save scamming anything, it might save some time.
Yeah, I think that if you're not gonna save scum, I think it actually does save time, because it skips up not terribly long, but still fairly lengthy surf There's the squirt bottle.
Then there it is. Okay, so it looks like Ralen is going to be quite behind now because he doesn't have strength yet. So he hasn't done the Kenya quest, and he is pretty far from being able to finish that whatsoever. And Nate has already done it, and it's already on his way up to Goldenrod. So definitely got some catching up to do here for Ralen.
Yeah, and there's some juicy checks that were like abandoned by Ralen, but I think he's done most of them at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kenya was his next sort of play. I don't think he's gonna go back to Kanto and try and do like Nugget Bridge. I don't think he's that crazy.
Yeah, it would be really rough to try and do that because so what I forgot to mention earlier is that in Vermilion Waters and the Harbor, some slots are 35 plus 0 to 4 levels, and then some slots are 30 plus 0 to 4 levels. And so his Pidgeot, unfortunately, is the lowest level possible at level 30. Oh, but he's actually going to go for Soft Sand Girls here. I like this play, and I don't believe Nate did it, so this could be big.
I don't like this play. I have never had the Soft Sand Girls be remotely valuable to me, and they take so long. Like, if I'm going to abandon any check, it's probably this one.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame you. I don't blame anyone for not doing this check in general, but I don't mind doing it for the most part, and he's got a pretty strong main. He's got a Pidgeot with Drill Peck, so I don't blame him. And based on there's no way for him to know, what Nate's done already, but there hasn't been very many good mains at all in Kanto, so
yeah, and like you can't blame him for it. I just having the benefit of perfect information and knowing both situations, I can say that I don't like it, which is really arrogant and not helpful of me.
Icy Wind on the Polytoad. Luckily still faster after the Speedfall.
Yeah. So apparently Ralen tried Janine with the Pidgeot, and it did not work. So that might be part of why he's shying away from Kanto. He just knows that what he's got is still going to need a couple of levels before he can make much progress over there.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I must have missed that. It must have been pretty quick that he got wiped out then. He probably didn't save and then just assumed that he was going to wipe. Either he was going to wipe, or he probably wiped back somewhere in Johto then. Because I completely missed that.
The Sudowoodo is a shuckle. That's annoying.
Cute.
If the Sudowoodo was, like, amazing, there might have been something going on there, because, again, BadNewsNate didn't find a Kanto main to switch to, and the Sudowoodo was only 2 levels lower than his Starmie right now. So if it had been, like, really good with a great moveset, it might have been worth considering just because it would have been such a small level hit to take. But it's a Shuckle, and Shuckle's bad.
Ooh, Ralen barely living that Hydro Pump. I'm curious if I was Nate in this position. Oh wow, he's doing early kimonos. He wants the XP. That makes sense.
That surprises me because I don't think I've. Oh wow, he even's using the Carbos and the Iron. Wow. I'm not going to say that I dislike early kimonos as an option because it can be very valuable, especially for the experience. Did you see what the Soft Sand Girls had? Because I missed it.
I also missed it, unfortunately. It does not look like he has anything different on his tracker. So
Garfield the Lightning says it was a guard spec. Thank you,
Guards
Garfield.
back. Okay.
Garfield the Lightning is our tracker for this run. They're doing an amazing job. Everybody thank them. Or thank him. Because,
Claps
yeah,
in chat.
without Garfield, we would have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't even see what the very first item of the run was.
I didn't either. I also missed the item box. Stu, is he talking about random stuff, like what is and isn't randomized?
Okay, so honestly, yeah, if I was in Nate's shoes, I would probably be doing the same thing because I would be very interested in seeing. Oh, unfortunate for Ralen, he had an optional there.
Yeah.
Going back through Unique Cave always sucks. I hate that movement.
It's awkward because like there's a lot more one-tile turns that you have to do to line yourself up and avoid hitting things.
And you've got to wait for one of the guys to stop spinning.
I wait for half of them to stop spinning anyways. So, I'm not good at this game.
So if I was in Nate's position, I like this play because I would want to completely clear. I want to completely clear Ekritique, I think, if I'm Nate. Because first of all, he's pretty low level since he didn't get a Kanto main. But also, if he does, he's already got the Rainbow Wing, so there's a good chance if he finds Clear Bell here, he could do Tin Tower if he gets enough experience. And also, if he wants to do Morty now, he could also check the Roamers, and the Roamers are all level 40. And for those of you that don't know, it's actually pretty easy, even in the base game, to be able to find the roamers, because what you can do is you can save right before you activate them, and every time you activate them, there's a 1 in 3 chance that they are in one of the nearby routes. So basically, you can just check to see if they're in the nearby route by just turn framing with a repel on, so that you repel all lower level encounters, and you'll only encounter the level 40s. And if you don't find them, so you've been turn framing for a while and nothing's coming up, you can actually just reset and then activate them again, and it'll be random where they've gone. So you can just keep doing that until you find them, and that's if the roamers are good.
So if that's true, then my luck with roamers is ridiculous, because the way I've always done it is I just activate them, and then I save right before the route transition, and then do the setup, except I just reset to right before the route transition the route, don't save, use a repel, and then just run through the grass until the repel wears out. And if they're there, like 9 times out of 10, I will have them show up. So that might be my luck being ridiculous, or that might be like the same thing, you just don't have to reset all the way back to before the roamers.
Honestly, I'm not sure how it works for doing that compared to saving right before you activate them. I'm not sure what the difference is in terms of where they go to or what, but
yeah, my assumption is that they are loaded into the city as long as you don't leave the city. And then once you leave the city, they move to one of the nearby routes, but that's just a guess. Meanwhile, Ralen is doing the Tojo checks, so let's see what BadNewsNate decided wasn't worth coming all the way down here to check. Well, there goes my dream for it being both pieces of fly.
Yeah, I actually thought about that too. I was like, that's amazing that's a possibility, but it is. And if this is a part of fly, this last one right here, then Ralen's still definitely in the game. That's a full restore. That's unfortunate, but he did save scam it, so he didn't waste too much time.
No, and it's also worth noting that because they found the squirt bottle, or because Nate found the squirt bottle, and Ralen will find it here soon. Because they found the squirt bottle, the thing I was saying about the Anne possibly locking like 100 checks, that's out the window. It now locks 1 check out of being fly, and it's the boat itself. Which, unless it is a necessary item, I don't think we'll see either runner doing today. So, yeah, so North Johto is now entirely open to HMO2 or to
Storm Badge.
Storm Badge, yeah. Meanwhile, do we have BadNewsNate's audio on? Is that who we're tracking right now?
Yes, I believe so, yep.
Alright, he's about to activate the roamers. Let's listen.
So that was Ariados and Furret for the Entei and Raikou. And for the Suicune, that is Raichu, actually.
How do you know that? Like, is that just an experience thing, or?
Yeah, for the most part. But I've been wrong before. I'm 99% sure of those ones, though.
Okay, because I can recognize one Pokemon's cry in that entire setup, and it's Mewtwo. And half the time I'm wrong. There's Glacier Badge, and half the time I'm wrong anyways, because Mewtwo sounds very similar to both Mew and to Parasect. And every time it's Parasect, you're just real sad.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is really hard to tell between Mewtwo and Parasect, but yeah, those ones are all pretty distinct. So I think Nate knew that he didn't want any of those, but he may, if he finds Clearbell, he can do Tin Tower, and that would lead him to the Raichu, which he might consider switching to. I think he does like his Starmie. His Starmie definitely has a very good moveset, and he's pretty well set up with what he's got. But it never hurts to switch to a 40. Oh, and there's finally the first part of Fly.
Yep, he's found the Storm Badge in Mount Mortar. Do you remember where they found Whirlpool, the HM?
Whirlpool. That was it was a singular check. I don't remember where it was. No.
Okay, because somebody is commenting that. Oh, it was on the Elder. Yeah. Okay, so. So somebody had commented that Whirl Islands are available, but it's out of logic, and it is out of logic without Flash. But I was just having a moment of, was it also locked behind a dark thing anyways, or? Okay, so there's the radio card. So it's worth noting, by the way, that at bare minimum for one of these seeds, you're looking at a required 21 items, 16 required badges, 3 pieces of the radio card, and then some form of access to get to where it is you're going. It can be a couple of different things. It can be Surf and Waterfall. It can be the Pass and Cut, or it can be Squirt Bottle and SSN Ticket and Cut. But you're always going to need all the badges, and you're always going to need all the pieces of the radio card. And BadNewsNate just found the first one.
He also very, very, very convenient, actually. This very rarely happens to me, but he also found the Secret Potion in Mount Mortar, which is very useful because now he can go to Olivine and just go straight up the lighthouse only one time. So if you go up the lighthouse without Secret Potion, you can still talk to Jasmine, and she will still activate the pharmacy item in Cianwood, but you'll have to go back up again later if you need to fight Jasmine for a required item. Got the egg hatching. It's my boy, Sneasel! Oh, I love Sneasel.
Yeah, I normally bank the egg, so I don't ever see what the egg is, because it hatches at level 5, so it's like never useful. And the cutscene takes a long time.
I'd be so happy if Nate took the time to nickname that Sneasel Vandio.
So Nate just found the card key just south of Lake of Rage, which is interesting because one more badge and that activates Rocket Tower. Shiny is an Articuno, which is always interesting. I've always heard that you never want to run the shiny just because the shiny animation takes so long.
Ooh, he's might be in trouble here. Oh, he's catching it regardless, but probably just for another HM friend.
Wouldn't surprise me. So, for anybody who's not played the game before, there's a couple of events that are tied to certain situations. Like, for example, the thing with Lance there is tied to being able to actually access the red Gyarados out in the middle of the lake. The big event is 7 badges will activate a couple of different things. First off, it'll open up the way to Route 44, which is to the right here of where Nate is now. But more notably, it'll also open up something known as Rocket Tower. And Rocket Tower is basically Team Rocket taking over the radio tower in Goldenrod. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. There's a bunch of checks there between the underground and the tower itself. But in order to actually do anything there beyond just the one lone check of the false director, it requires the key card, and because of the way we've got the logic set up, also the basement key. Kind of. It's more that the key card is required for the basement rather than the other way around, but it's the same sort of idea in that you generally don't find people wanting to do Rocket Tower unless they can do Rocket Tower and Underground.
Yeah, it's definitely very useful if to have both at the same time. If you if you have card key, a lot of people wait until they have basement key also to go check all of the items at once.
Yeah,
it saves time from having to fly back later if you don't have the basement key.
Yeah, there's something like 20 checks between the two areas. And they have just found both now. BadNewsNate has both the key card and the basement key. So once that pops, if he's feeling confident, he could make the decision to go there and get a whole bunch of items. I don't know if he will, though, because again, he's still got his starter from the very beginning of the game, and it's getting up there in levels, but oh, he just missed the zap cannon twice.
Oh no, that's rough.
Yeah,
he might have to use the oh, honestly, if I was him, I would have switched to the shiny Articuno and just used that, because in Rocket Hideout, Lance is in here also helping you to fight off Team Rocket. So after the first 3 fights of Rocket Hideout, you get a free heal from Lance.
Yeah, he's only on the second fight, though, so he would have had to have done the entire scientist fight as well with the Articuno. And I think that's more experience that he's willing to lose.
Yeah, that would suck to lose the XP. It wouldn't waste too much time to have to use the Articuno. I think it's the XP that he's most concerned about.
Yeah, I agree.
It does suck having to use a revive for that, and just for this one fight, but he's got plenty of revives, I think.
Yeah, and like I said, full item randomizer, you're generally swimming in cash, and you can just buy revives. So I think it was the smart move to revive, sack off the fur alligator, and get the experience, because right now the experience is more valuable to him than any revive could be, unless it's like maybe a sacred ash.
Yeah, also that makes me think that he probably doesn't care at all about the Raichu. He's probably not thinking about grabbing it at Tin Tower whenever he ends up going there. He decides to switch to the shiny Articuno. Oh my gosh, it has Ice Beam Drill Peck!
Oh my god!
That is insane, actually.
That's an insane Articuno. I still don't know if running it's a good idea or not, because the animation for a shiny is so slow. But oh dear, if it's not tempting.
This is the time I have been most tempted. Like, I would definitely be tempted to run that.
I was tempted by a shiny Mewtwo once, but this is still really good. For anybody who's not aware, Drill Peck is basically the best flying move in the game, and depending on who you ask, might be just the best physical flying move in the game, or physical move in the game. I don't know why I said physical flying.
Yeah.
And then Ice Beam is not the best special, but it's one of the best specials, and it's very, very strong.
And notably, they are both stab, same type attack bonus for Articuno. So they're literally the best 2 moves that Articuno can have.
Yes, absolutely. Straight up, they're just the best 2 moves that an Articuno can have.
So Ralen has made his way all the way back after finally getting the squirt bottle. He's made his way all the way over to Mount Mortar. I believe he skipped the checks in at Critique. I don't think he did Kimonos. And if I remember correctly, Kimonos was not required. So he will be saving a little bit of time on Nate, most likely.
He actually did the Kimono Girls.
Oh, did he do Kimono Girls? Okay.
He did Kimono Girls. He just did them a lot faster because he had a stronger Pokemon than Nate had when Nate went in there. Nate still had his like 22 Starmie or something, and Ralen managed to just blitz through it with his Pidgeot.
Right. Yeah. honestly, I've been paying probably a little bit too much attention to Nate and not enough to Ralen.
I got you covered. Don't worry. Also, Garfield does as well in chat. So again, thank you, Garfield.
We appreciate Garf in here.
Yep. So it looks like Ralen's about to do Lake of Rage as well. So he's probably going to be heading over to Rocket Underground as well. So they've kind of synced back up to where they were, which is surprising. BadNewsNate is still definitely ahead, but he's not as ahead as I honestly thought he might have been, given just everything else. He is still a burned tower ahead as well, but I think that Ralen's done a couple more checks in Kanto. It's been hard to keep track.
Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, Nate just got Rising Badge, so now Nate can actually go back to Mount Mortar, and he has access to all of the items in Mount Mortar. Although, notably, the waterfall items still are technically not in logic, because he got waterfall from Dark Cave.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ralen's like, I saw you have Drill Peck, and I raise you a Drill Peck of my own. Go away. And he painted the Articuno, so he's not interested in that, which doesn't surprise me. The Pidgeot with Drill Peck is still very, very good. More to the point, though, having found that Rising Badge, it's also going to kick off the Rocket Tower event, because that is badge number 7. Oh, you can just miss that guy as long as you go fast. I wasn't aware of that. I've always been too hesitant to try.
Yep. Yeah, you barely get around him. He doesn't see you. But yeah, so the 7th badge. So now Nate, I imagine he's going to go to Olivine first. Before going back to Goldenrod, since he still doesn't have fly access. Might be a different story if he had fly access, but still looking for that fly HM. So I imagine with Secret Potion, he's probably going to go to Olivine first. Maybe do some shopping while he's there.
Yeah, if he had cut, I would say that the distances were roughly comparable, but he doesn't, so it wouldn't surprise me if he does Olivine first. That said, Fly could be in either or neither of them. Something else that he has access to now that he has the Rising Badge, I think you mentioned earlier, was the Mount Mortar checks. They are out of logic, but they are there.
Yeah, if I was him, I would just do them now, because they're right on the way, so there's not much reason not to. Also, I don't know... Oh yeah, he did do the surf checks as well. Okay, I remember him doing that. I wasn't sure at first.
Yeah, no, they've both done the surf checks in the basement of Mount Mortar.
So I think it's actually considerable to just, if you have both strength and surf access, but not waterfall. I guess in that case you would probably just not do the strength locked items. I was thinking maybe in some cases you could save the surf checks for when you have waterfall, so you could do them all at once. But in that case, he wouldn't have done the strength checks either, because having waterfall access unlocks the strength checks as well.
Yeah, I think that's abandoning a little bit too many checks that you could do at that point.
Especially since he's still looking for fly, yeah, it's hard to leave anything behind.
Yeah, that's if you have surf and strength and you're like, I'm gonna wait until I find waterfall before doing Mount Mortar, that's skipping, I wanna say, 9 checks. Like, that's a lot. So Ralen is just going to make his way through the underground, much as BadNewsNate is in the middle of doing now. Nate himself is dealing with the last fight before the electrodes. I always like to try and guess what the electrodes are going to be. I'm never right. It's always...
Oh, wow. The Articuno must have been before, or one of an earlier items that it forgot right before 30, but it also had Shadow Ball.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and Gengar took him out. Yeah, it does. It is really unfortunate that Nate wasn't able to find a new main in Kanto, because he's actually really struggling with these hideout fights.
He really is, yeah. I mean, Ralen's going to make up a little bit of time on him. Let's see. For the electrodes, I'm going to say Girafarig, I'm going to say Delibird, and I'm going to say Doduo.
I'm gonna say 3 Sneasels.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I'll be right back, Glacial. I'll still be listening on my headset though. Just,
All right,
just like
I'll be
half
here.
a minute.
Well, there goes both of our predictions already. That's a B drill. Generally, I'm happy if I can just get one. I've yet to do it in the however many runs I've done, but you know, it's always a little bit fun. Okay, what's up with the not flying type bug poison flyers? That's a B drill and then a Venomoth. And final chance. A Mr. Mime! Oh man, Mr. Mime makes his return. We saw you earlier, dude. My favorite thing about Mr. Mimes is I swear I don't know if it's true or if it was just a joke, but the localization guy who came up with the English name for Mr. Mime, I swear must have said to somebody in charge of the Game Freak stuff, they must have said at some point, I can translate this name for you, but if you ever put genders in the game, it's going to get very weird very fast. Because female Mr. Mimes are a thing, and we don't ask questions here. Seth, get out. You're fired. No puns, unless they're really, really bad or really, really good. So at this point, BadNewsNate, having finished the Rocket Underground, now has a couple more checks they can do. The big one here is in Price's Gym. There's 2 checks here. There's technically a couple different ways to get the price, but if you just go straight up on the left side, you're going to run into that spinner. So instead, what you do is you hit this particular trainer, who is just destroying Nate. Oh dear. You hit this particular trainer who has a single Pokemon, in this case it's a Flaffy, and that lets you catch basically a path that you won't hit the spinner, because I think the spinner has 3 or 4 Pokemon. So this is technically faster as long as you don't faint. Nate's just not having a good time with this Starmie. Looks like he's through, though. So now he's doing the quick cycle, avoiding that spinner twice, and ending right up in front of Price. I'm kind of surprised at how much difficulty Nate has been having with the Starmie. Starmie is not a bad Pokemon. It was better in Gen 1 before the physical special split, I think. But it's not bad. It's got a base stat total of like 520 something, I think. And it's got 100 special attack and 115 speed. So it's fast, it can hit hard, and its defenses aren't awful either. I'm genuinely surprised at how rough of a time Nate has been having with this Starmie. It's hard to know if it's got bad DVs or not. Like, we can't even know what its attack DV is, because Starmie, for reasons that I'm sure make sense, but at the same time don't when you think about it, doesn't have a gender. And it's like, okay, it's a Pokemon that is a star from outer space. Of course it doesn't have a gender. But when you're like that, why does a Keyring have a gender? Why does a Rock Snake have a gender? Like, why does a Boulder have a gender? None of these things make sense when you think about it in that context. Also, welcome back.
Thank you. Looks like price is not required.
Nope.
So let's see if the item to the north was required.
It was not. He actually okay. Checked that before doing the gym.
Gotcha. Okay.
So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back into Mount Mortar and do. Yep, there we go. And he's gonna do the checks behind the waterfall. So I'm pretty sure he did the strength checks. So I think there's. I was about to say only. I think there's only 9 more checks in here for him to get.
I think it's less because he did both the surf and the strength checks already, right?
Yeah, but there's 6 above the waterfall, and then you go down and there's 3 more.
Okay, gotcha.
So like there's 3 that are hard locked by waterfall. There's 9 that are hard locked by waterfall. This check he's doing right now, oh yeah, mineral badge. Good call. So that check, I did one of these with my brother, and I was like kind of helping him through it. He didn't know that check existed, and so he spent like an hour trying to find the item that was there because. Yeah,
that's gonna be trouble.
Because he didn't know it was there, and I didn't remember where the item was because I had gotten it like 45 minutes before he did.
Well, what I was talking about for trouble is that Nate is currently doing this section and getting encounters because his Starmie is not high enough level to repel off the higher level Pokemon.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. You're right. Yeah, he's getting Raticate encounters. I think he has rare candies. I don't think using it here would be worth it, but I would think about it.
He would need at least 2 to make it worth it, because I did see him get a level 32 encounter, and there might even be 33s. I'm not sure. Looks like he's just kind of going through it, doesn't want to use up the rare candies.
I don't blame him. Yeah, no.
Not getting too many encounters, so not too punished, but I'm speaking a little too soon, probably.
Just brute force your way through at this point. Like, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet. Oh, I've done that before. Walk up to an item ball right as your repel runs out, and you're like, okay, well, I saw a menu pop up, so I've clearly tried to pick up the item, right? No.
Yep.
Especially if you've got a bad habit of running around with full bags, and you're like, okay, so it was just an item that I don't need, and my bags were full.
Well, if he was going to use the rare candies, he definitely would have done it right at the beginning, so he's kind of committed to not using them now.
Yeah, like at this point, he's committed. There's no point in doing it this late in. Just make your way through. Ralen's finished off Price, so he's getting his TM13 and his Miracle Seed. Probably not terribly happy with those, but, you know, it's 2 checks out of the way.
I think it actually would have been an interesting consideration, even though it's not in. They're not in Fly Logic. It is an option since they have strength access to go all the way through Ice Path. There are a lot of items in there, not in Logic yet, but they are in there. Unfortunate for Ralen, hitting this an optional.
I hit that one all the time.
Yeah, he's tough to, especially if you're repelling right in front of that grass. Because it's a 1-tile encounter right after menuing, or a 1-tile and then a 2-tile turn.
Yeah.
But I think if it were me, I would have considered maybe. Oh, nice, another badge for Nate.
Considered 2 badges in there.
Yep. I would have considered going all the way through Ice Path and then taking Dark Cave over to Violet. Looks like Nate might be doing that. I'm not sure where he's decided to go. It looks like he is doing that, in fact. So even though he will not be able to find Fly here, it still seems like he thinks it's worth doing these checks. Oh, and the mystery egg. Okay.
So with the mystery egg and him still not having done Tojo Falls, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes all the way back to the starting city, which I want to call either Little Root or New Bark, and I know one of those is Gen 3. I just don't remember which is which.
New Bark is Gen 2, Little Root is Gen 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, it looks like Ralen is also doing the Mount Mortar checks. So Ralen is also going to be finding his 2 badges back here as well. You could do the E4 if you hate yourself and don't want to finish them first.
Or if you're Dark Rit.
The only way somebody would do the Elite Four right now is if they were convinced that they are going to lose this run unless the Elite Four has an item.
Yeah, there's also a guy in the community, Dark Rit, who notably is he just always does. That's like basically his play, is YOLOing E4. He does it like almost every time.
Yeah, if I was going up against somebody who like routinely does these things in like 2 hours, 15 minutes, like I would do the Elite Four and just pray that one of the badges was on like the 10 tower rainbow wing check, and that whoever I'm racing up against won't do that check until the end, and then I might have a chance of winning. But like nobody's gonna do the Elite Four right now,
Right.
except for that guy.
Ralen making up definitely a good amount of time not getting any encounters in there because he has a higher level main. So
Yeah,
definitely making up probably at least a few minutes in encounters. Looks like he is not going to make the same play as Nate here, though. He's going to go straight for Olivine and not... Okay, he's going to save Scum. He's going back to Goldenrod. Interesting. I expected him to go to Olivine here.
I think he's probably gonna go do the tower. Because if I was him, I would want my fly. I would want fly. And I think you've got a better chance of finding fly at the rocket tower than you do in Olivine, just as a gut feeling. So this particular play doesn't surprise me terribly much. It might be a little bit slower than doing Olivine into Goldenrod if you have to do both of them. But if you're banking on it being one or the other, you're going to get more checks in Goldenrod, and I want fly at this point. Like, I'm not even caring too much about anything else. My overall thought process is, what do I need to do to get my HMO2 right now?
Yeah, I definitely can understand that sentiment for sure. Nate, interestingly, usually if I have flash access, I just always use flash for this section because there's a lot of tough turns.
He doesn't have flash.
Oh, duh, he doesn't have flash. I'm silly. Oh, wow, he got red scale out of that, though, so that's actually pretty useful, because now he's probably gonna go back and do the mystery egg check, which means that now he can also go back on the way back up to Violet, do the red scale check.
Yep. And he's gonna have to do rival 1 while he's there. I don't know if he's gonna be strong enough to do it, man. It's gonna be tough.
It will be tough. That I don't even remember the what he'll be going up against.
Level 5. I don't think it was Sandshrew. I think it was the other one. Wait, that guy's not a trainer? I've been avoiding him this whole time.
Yeah, he's not a trainer.
Well, now I just feel stupid.
Nah. I mean, he is looking right in the direction that that you normally would be going. So I don't blame you for thinking that.
Fair. All right, let's see what the lucky egg check is. Oh, the Rising Badge check was a Carbos, and realizing that he's gonna have to get that Carbos in order to do the mystery egg check, he has actually tossed an item so he can pick up the Carbos.
5 TM22s. So this aid always gives you 5 of whatever item is randomized. So he's definitely gonna have a lot of those TMs. Oh, it looks like he's going back to check. Sorry, what was that?
What if he gives you a badge?
It just still treats it as 1, I'm pretty sure. That would be interesting, though. 5 mega kicks, okay.
Kirby, don't mock me. I know I'm dumb.
New little root bark. Okay, so Nate is going to be, unfortunately, disappointed by the items he finds here.
But that's only if he doesn't go any further. I mean, if he wants to, he can push all the way to the Victory Road, and I think he probably will, because the Victory Road has high-level Pokemon that he can main switch to if he finds something good.
Oh, that's true, and also he can, he is able to get... Oh, no, he looks like he's not. I was actually very interested in if he was going to do the play, because he could... an option that you can do is you can go all the way through. He could check the Whirlpool item even while he's there. Avoid any fights. He would only have to do 1 fight to check the item south of the Victory Road building.
You don't have to do the fight to check that item, but you do have to do the fight to get into the Victory Road building.
Yeah, so what he could have done is he could have gone all the way up through there, checked that item, gone all the way through Victory Road, done the rival fight, and then teleported back home via the old man in the Pokemon League.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, so there's right next to the center, in the Pokemon League, there's a man with an Abra sitting there, and he says, "Are you sure you're ready to do this? I can teleport you home if you need." And so yeah, he can teleport you back to New Barktown. So if I was Nate in this situation, I might have considered that. But then again, he's also pretty low level, so I don't know if he probably would have struggled with that rival fight. So
I feel like both runners probably feel like they're behind.
Yeah, they probably do. You're 100% right about that. Yeah.
Nate's main is not great, and Ralen has definitely had some struggles. I bet you both of them are thinking the other guy is definitely way ahead of me.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely get that sentiment as well. I would feel the same in their shoes. Also, notably, Nate is actually out of Super Repels, so he's probably headed to Olivine now, hopefully to stock up.
It's going to be interesting if he... Yeah, it looks like he is. And it's going to be interesting because Ralen is just about to do the Rocket Exec, so I feel like Fly has to be one of these two, and we're about to figure out which one it is.
Nate realizing he does not have any repels left, unfortunately. Also, so yeah, that play that I mentioned, going all the way up to the Pokemon League, yet again, it's not the best play ever because again, Fly could not be in any of those checks past Tojo Falls, so it's definitely a bit of a risk. But if he found, say, Cut or Hive Badge, it could have been useful. So.
Or a Wild Beambolt Espeon. I found one of those at level 4 once. It was like on the first route. It was amazing. That was my favorite seed I've ever done.
Yeah, it's great getting early Bolt Beam on a nice special attacker.
All right, so the executive for clearing the Rocket Tower was a TM. The first item check there was a revive. Meanwhile, Nate has found a Rainbow Badge in Olivine. Useful, but not immediately so. Ralen has found half of Cut. That's more useful than the Rainbow Badge. The Rainbow Badge is required, but because he already has 7 badges in Logic, it's not going to get him anything more until he hits 16. Meanwhile, Hive Badge, at very minimum, will at least get you Cut access as soon as you find HM01. That looks to be the only interesting stuff that has turned up so far in either location. Ralen is now doing the False Executive, who is very annoying because his Pokemon are all relatively high level, and there are 6 of them. Ugh.
Yep, 5 30s and a 32. And I think that one was vanilla. It was because normally he's got 5 coughings and then a level 32 wheezing. I'm not sure what level that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that was French vanilla wheezing.
French vanilla, nice.
Well, it's not quite vanilla, but it's close enough.
I like that. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, meanwhile, I forget exactly how many encounters there are on the route up the lighthouse. I think it's like 5 to get all the items, maybe 4.
I don't recall how many, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of items up here. Plus, Nate unlocks the ability to fight Jasmine in her gym, since he has the secret potion, and he can also opt to go over to Cianwood if he thinks there might be a chance that Fly is over there, which would be it would be a really huge advantage on Ralen actually at this point in the run.
It would be incredibly rude if it was there as well, because nobody wants to do Cianwood without Fly, because going out of Cianwood once you're there is not fun.
It's also honestly a pretty good option to do that now as well, because if he gets lucky and Flash is either here or in Cianwood, then that puts Whirl Islands in Logic, and he could go do Whirl Islands immediately after.
Yeah, and there's enough checks in Whirl Islands that I would honestly just consider doing it dark as well.
Yeah, that's pretty true as well. Because at this point, Flash has got to be somewhere nearby, right? Right?
You would think so, but I mean, even more to the point of it's got to be somewhere nearby. It has to be somewhere nearby, but at the same time, it's not locking. No, it is locking a lot, actually. I was going to say it's not locking much, but no, it just occurred to me. There's 2 badges in Mount Mortar that are out of logic without Flash. So yeah, no, it's got to be somewhere nearby.
Are those out of logic?
Yep, they were behind Waterfall, and Waterfall was in Dark Cave.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep. That's true. So they know that Flash will be in logic. So checking Whirl Islands. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Hey! Speak of the devil.
So I guess that, yeah, that does give that away, since so Nate would know by now that that Flash will be in logic. So doing Whirl Islands dark would have been a fine play.
Yep. It's still an option, but I'm very much a fan of, or I'm very much a believer in, you should know how to do every dark cave dark. I'm also a believer in, if you have Flash, use Flash.
Yep. The only one that I do consistently without Flash is Rock Tunnel, just because I'm used to it from running the vanilla games. Or from speedrunning the vanilla games.
Hey, there's Headbutt. I occasionally will, but like if I've got Flash, I'm gonna use it. It's just like, just because even though I'm pretty confident in my movement in there, being able to see just makes me guaranteed to be able to do it as quickly as possible.
Oh, unfortunate for Nate, realizing he is out of escape ropes.
Oof.
Gotta climb and gotta do the fall of shame, falling down all of the levels of Lighthouse.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ralen has cleared out Rival 5? Rival 5. And is now working their way through the underground. Because they did the card key and cleared out the Rocket Executive and cleared out all the rockets from the tower and the underground, he gets to skip about 12 fights making your way through this location. It is very, very slow to do this while the rockets are here.
Yeah, there's just way too many extra fights to do the basement early before you clear the radio tower. But without all the rockets here, it's just a bunch of nice, easy checks.
Yep, and there was nothing there. Wow, there was nothing there.
That is quite unfortunate for Ralen here, because he kind of needed something to be useful in there to really be able to keep pace with Nate right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if he found the Hive badge. That's what he found. The only thing worth finding there was the Hive badge.
Yeah, that is definitely unfortunate that that's all he got out of that play. But he's likely on his way to Olivine now.
Yep, and it looks like BadNewsNate is making the decision to probably go and do the rocket tower. So he's also going to find the Hive badge if he does, but at the same time, knowing what we know about everything in this seed, I think the right move is Whirl Islands. I really do.
Yeah, I think in this at this point I probably would have done Cianwood and Whirl Islands. But,
I don't think I would have, and that's why I would have lost this race.
Yeah, we'll see. We still don't know where anything else is. Okay, so he took the time to grab some more escape ropes before heading back to Goldenrod. Makes sense. Oh, he's actually checking. Oh, the Flash room. That's right, the Flash treasure room. That's something I forgot that he got access to. So since he finally has actual Flash access, he's able to use Flash in here, and that unlocks 4 more items.
Yep, and somebody's also just pointed out that doing Whirl Islands without escape ropes is awful, and you are very right. So I think you're probably dead on there.
Yeah, that's true. That definitely would have been terrible. So really unfortunate timing for him there.
Hey, look at that. So at this point, BadNewsNate has HMO1, and Ralen Tankir has the Hive badge. So neither of them can use it yet, but Cut is a kind of underrated item in terms of how much you gain access to. It's not like everything in the world, but there's a lot of stuff locked behind Cut.
Yeah, most notably, it gives you access to West Kanto after your, or to a lot of the West Kanto checks after you wake up the Snorlax. So you can't get past the cut bush either to the north or the south without obviously without cut. And that there are a bunch of items in Pewter and Pallet Town, as well as obviously the gyms, and then if they didn't have access to Waterfall, that would be their only way to get to Victory Road and south as well.
Yep, so technically they don't actually need Cut in this seed to gain access to those, because they do have that Surf Waterfall combo. But yeah, you're right, in like most of the time. So it'll gain access to that. There's also 2 checks south of Lavender. There's 3 at the Lake of Rage. There's 1 south of Violet City. I know there's more. There's Erica, obviously. And there's 1 north of Cerulean. Like, there's a bunch of cut checks. But it looks like we're about to see them once again play Ships in the Night, whereas Ralen is doing what Nate just did, and Nate is doing what Ralen just did, because Nate's climbing the tower, and Ralen's about to climb the lighthouse. And to be honest with you, Ralen is gonna be finished first, I would imagine.
I just wanted to double check here. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever set foot in the. Oh, that's right. Cienwood actually doesn't have a mart, does it? Because it has the secret potion guy.
Yep, it has no mart.
Okay, yeah. So that's that wouldn't have worked out. I was thinking possibly if there was if he had the option to get escape ropes in Cienwood, but wouldn't have worked out. He probably knew that.
So at this point, Ralen is going to climb the lighthouse. He's going to find Flash. Where was Cut exactly?
Cut was in the Flash chamber.
Yes, that was it. So he's going to find Flash. He might make the Whirl Islands play without going... Because I don't imagine he's going to go back to the Flash chamber immediately. But he might make the Whirl Islands and Cienwood play, because Cienwood has, like, 5 checks, and Whirl Islands has, like, 14. So there's almost 20 checks between the two. He's running out of places that HMO2 can even be. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he does that, even with the sort of pain of, well, if they're not there, I'm going to have to surf all the way back to Olivine.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there's still a pretty good chance, because if Ralen finds Fly in Whirl Islands, then we definitely got a race.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of struggling to think of what big things Nate has done that Ralen hasn't.
Nate did go through Ice Path and check all of the Dark Cave items, and to the south of Blackthorn as well.
Right, that is one of the big things. I don't think he came away with much though, did he?
Nope, there wasn't too much useful stuff in that direction at all. So, but Ralen probably will still do all of those checks at some point. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. But so Ralen has now found his flash. I wonder if he's particularly enthused by that or not. I would imagine probably not. Flash is one of those weird things to be kind of excited about, because on the one hand, it's going to open up a whole bunch of checks into logic, but at the same time, you didn't need HM05 to get like almost all of those checks, so it just puts a big bunch of pool of stuff that you now like kind of feel obligated you have to go check because they're in logic. But at the same time, in this particular seed, it is actually going to probably be hard required because the only 4 checks that Flash is hard required for, one of them is cut. How are we only an hour 45 into this seed? I'm suddenly very scared for my prospects of getting out of my own group.
Yeah, it's definitely not a very fast seed. It took them some running around in southern Johto to finally get their progress, but so yeah, it was definitely a pretty slow early game seed at the very least.
Yeah, see, I feel like I would still be in the early game at this point. It's like, oh god. Alright, so Nate is picking up his Hive badge. Nate now has cut, which would be incredible if he would make the hard read of just skipping the underground, but he almost definitely won't. Like, that would be an amazing sort of, like, I'm out of here, but I don't see him making that play, just given how many items are down there. None of them are useful, as we now know, but he doesn't know that, and so I suspect he's going to spend a whole bunch of time doing the underground.
Yep, for sure. Especially without Fly, you can't really afford to skip out on checks that are right in front of you.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ralen has decided, alright, fine, we're going to Cianwood.
Interesting that he's choosing to go to Cianwood first before Will Islands.
I mean, my Whirl Islands route is incredibly backwards. I tend to do Whirl Islands in this direction as well. I shouldn't, as I have recently learned, but I suspect he's a lot better than me, and therefore is just straight up doing Cianwood first.
I guess it's just as likely for Fly to be in either location, so
Yeah.
it doesn't make too much of a difference, but yeah.
Technically, it's just as likely for it to be in any individual check. I still would have done Whirl Islands first because it's like 14 checks and 0 fights versus Cianwood's 4 checks and 5 fights. Yeah, the one thing that he might be looking for before going to Whirl Islands is Silverwing.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, because that's still definitely an option. So we don't have it on the tracker because it's not an important item in terms of progression at all. But the Silverwing is a key item that lets you be able to encounter the static level 60 in Whirl Islands, which is normally a Lugia, but obviously is randomized in this. So that's switching to the 60 is generally a really good choice if it's anything worth running at all.
Yeah, and it's also worth holding on to some rare candies for, specifically so you can evolve it. I found out the hard way that while the like improved impossible level evolution things of like, you know, being able to evolve yourself a Scizor or a Gengar or whatever, while it does that, it doesn't do friendship evolutions at all.
Yep.
So I made that mistake once.
What Glacial's referring to here is that so any trade Pokemon or like trading with a certain item that the types of evolutions that are impossible in a solo run, speed choice, the speed choice realm has made it so that instead of you just not being able to evolve them, they instead all evolve at level 37.
Yep, and we've also capped off the level up evolutions at 40. So something like a Dragonite would evolve at level 40.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, that helps out with some of the stronger Pokemon like Tyranitar as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone that would ever run a Pupitar, but you know,
no,
I've seen weirder things.
Yeah, but as mentioned, this does mean that it doesn't do that to Friendship Evolution. So if your Lugia or your Snorlax is a Cleffa or something like that, you're just SOL. And again, I found that one out the hard way.
But yeah, if it's just about anything else, I think there's a pretty good chance that Ralen would switch to it. He's probably a bit attached to the Drill Peck Pidgeot at this point, because it's definitely a very good main, but there's certainly 15 levels definitely makes a big difference. Excuse me.
I forgot to check any of Chuck and his wife's items. Were they anything at all?
Nothing useful, says Garf. Thank you, Garf.
Thanks, Garf. This is what happens when we get distracted.
Yep. Oh, he also says that single stage trades with items, so Onyx and Scyther evolve at 30 instead of 37. Interesting. I did not know that.
I've never run one because Onyx is like the poster child of looks like it should be very strong and is very, very weak, and I wouldn't evolve a Scyther into a Steelix into a Steelix. Yes, I wouldn't evolve a Scyther into a Steelix at all. But I also wouldn't evolve a Scyther into a Scizor because it doesn't pick up any base stats, and the stats it moves around are like not particularly advantageous because it drops its speed dramatically.
Yeah, I've definitely seen several people run a Scyther. Scyther is quite strong, actually, especially if you can find an Everstone to make it not evolve every single time. Oh wow, great start for Ralen there with the expansion card.
Yep, the first item in the Whirl Islands is already something that you need. So that's the second piece of the... Oh, and there's the Clear Bell, so there's their 10 tower access.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's very useful because there's 15 items locked behind 10 tower, 16 if you do the Elite Four. Has there been a non-key item in this Whirl Islands?
Wow.
Okay, there's one.
There's Revive, but...
But yeah, so Scyther is in a weird spot because Scyther is the only Pokemon, I think, that doesn't gain any base stats when it evolves. Scyther is based at total 500, and Scizor is based at total 500. It's just that it moves some of its attack and most of its speed into its defensive stats. And Scizor is also, at the cost of being immune to like basically freaking everything, is deathly allergic to fire, like most of us.
Yep. But Scyther itself also has a lot of weaknesses, being 4x weak to rock, which is quite rough also.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, Scizor is miles away the better typing. I will give you that. Bug Steel is an obnoxiously good typing, which is why there's not very many of them. But I still think Scyther would be preferable in terms of something I would want to run. Meanwhile, Ralen's like, okay, well, I don't have the wings, so I'm just going to do this last little bit of navigation in the dark and get this one item without using Flash.
Yeah, that going for that single item is it's pretty straightforward. It's just like a lot of single directions, and then when you bonk, you know the next direction. So it's not too bad.
So they didn't find Fly, but he found the Clear Bell. I've got good money on him going straight to 10 tower at this point.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's on the way as well, because his next steps are probably going to either I don't know. My guess is something in Kanto. Probably maybe going even for the Machine Park quest. Since he just got it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he would go to, but 10 tower's on the way, so that's probably what he's doing next. Yeah.
Yep.
Has he done Morty? I think he has. He at least, at the very least, he activated the roamers. I saw him do that. He did the rival fight. I'm not sure if he did Morty though.
I don't think either of them have done Morty yet. So, BadNewsNate is going to be the first person to see the Morty check.
Right, and for those of you who are so inclined, I assume after this race we'll probably be rating them or something. But we have another FIR race happening right now on SpeedGaming 5. If you want to pull it up on another tab, support both streams.
Yep,
And it will be Snowbear versus someone else. I forgot who he's racing against. Let me look at the schedule real quick.
Yep, it is another race in this same tournament. So the standings here and the standings there is all part of the same thing.
Yeah, Snowbear versus Shadowfrost is happening on SpeedGaming 5. There's a link right now in chat if any of you wanted to go check that out. Put it up in another monitor, possibly.
Yep. So Tin Tower is definitely, I would think, the play here, because Tin Tower, it's going to require some fighting, because I think you have to do Morty before you can get in there, right?
Yep. Either Morty or defeating the rockets and radio tower.
Oh, and he's already done that, so he's going for that one. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know if he's done Morty. Interesting.
I don't think he has. We're about to find out if Morty has anything. But yeah, so there is, for anybody who's unaware, Tin Tower is 9 floors, and in those 9 floors, there are 11 items and a level 40. And from that level 40, you also gain access to another 4 items in the Ruins of Alph. It is a 15-item destination.
And Nate actually just did Morty, which is interesting. I definitely would not expect him to do that. But as Snowbear says, it was a scam, as always. So no items required behind Morty specifically.
Yep, so it looks like Nate is now making the play into Cianwood and Whirl Islands. If he does Whirl Islands first, it's going to be interesting to see if he goes to Cianwood after or not. I imagine he probably would, because he's already there. Or, shows what I know, he's doing Cianwood first for reasons that I'm sure are beyond me.
This will be very interesting, actually, though, because assuming Fly is here in Tin Tower, Ralen might actually pull slightly in the lead.
I think Ralen's already in the lead, to be honest with you.
Think so? Should I possibly switch the audio over? We think Ralen's ahead.
I think Ralen has managed to just nickel and dime his way ahead. Yeah, so the things that BadNewsNate has done, the ice cave and all the surrounding area stuff. So that's a big chunk of stuff. But in terms of actual major progressive item finds, BadNewsNate is up HMO1. That's it.
Yeah, you definitely have a point there. There's a good chance for Ralen here, because if there's a good chance that Pokegear's here as well, and that would unlock quite a bit for him as well. I forgot where did he get cut again?
It's in the flash chamber.
Right. Okay. So that would probably be a check pretty soon after here for Ralen as well.
Yeah, no, after this, if I was Ralen after this, I'm going Ho-Oh chamber, flash chamber. So I honestly think, and depending on what is here, if he manages to find the Pokegear or something else, and it just has a cascade of massive checks that open up, Ralen might actually find... There's Fly.
There
Ralen
it is.
Find
just barely sub 2 hours.
Yeah. Ralen might actually find everything before he even ends up going to the ice path. Oh, no, because there was something over an ice path, wasn't there? On the path down, there was something there.
I actually don't recall. I
don't either. But it's entirely possible that Ralen either ends up there very late or not at all.
By the way, Giddy in chat, so you can either do Morty or defeat the rockets and radio tower. Either of which unlocks the access to Tin Tower. So if you do Morty, the guy is just or if you do Morty, the guy is just gone completely. Otherwise, you still have to talk to him if you had the clear bell. If you've done the rockets.
Right, it was Mystery Egg before Ice Path. That's what it was. And we've already determined that the Mystery Egg was a Carvos. So, oh no, it was a TM. The Claire's badge was a Carvos.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so like you don't need to go over there unless there's something in the Dragon's Den. There's Volcano badge. So
Nice.
Unless there's something in Dragon's Den, you don't need to go over there. And if they find like the Poke Gear right here, then I wouldn't think it would be that crazy that he just doesn't make it over there. That said, he's probably gonna find Cut really soon, and when he finds Cut, at least my first option would be Lake of Rage. And if you're already at the Lake of Rage, may as well.
Yeah, I'm interested what he'll choose to do here, because now that he's fought the Ho-Oh, he can do both the Flash Chamber and the Ho-Oh Chamber at the same time. And then, yeah, he might make his way to Lake of Rage, or, yeah, we still don't know where the Pokegear is, so,
come on, it survived. You need a... Oh,
looks like he doesn't know. You can actually just run from that Ho-Oh, and it'll still unlock the chamber. You don't have to fight that one.
Yeah, you have to fight the Red Gyarados, you have to fight the Voltorbs, but you don't have to fight that one.
And as we expected, he is going straight for those treasure rooms. I believe he will find something he needs. Well, we know he'll find Cut, so he is probably just straight up in the lead here.
He's in the lead. Like, at this point, he's in the lead. Yes, as Kirby Fan pointed out, that was a Wiggly Woo.
Wiggly Woo.
I still don't know where that's from, but I find the name funny enough that I like saying it anyways.
Yeah, there's some great meme names in this community.
Alright, so here's the Ho-Oh chamber. Anything could be in here.
My money is on Pokegear. I think it's in here. Oh wow, another badge. Very nice. Oh wait, is this... Oh yeah, this is the Ho-Oh chamber, so Nate doesn't have that yet. Ah, no Pokegear. I lost my money.
It was a good bet. I would have gone right there with you.
Ah, it hurts. It hurts, Ralen. Why do you keep bike music on? Oh. Oh, did he save?
He saved.
Interesting. Oh, he didn't.
I could have sworn he saved.
Oh.
Well, he knows he's got to go back and do that again, so now I'll just say it properly. Wiggly Woo.
Oh, that's rough, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. I still think he's still in the lead. I think, because BadNewsNate has to get through all of Whirl Islands and all of Tin Tower. That said, he definitely, if he didn't feel like he was behind already, he definitely does now. I just need to get a friend of mine to stand over my shoulder and like write down, "You last saved at," when I do my next run.
Yeah, no kidding.
I always forget when I save, and I always forget when I have a repel up. I have tried max repel with a max repel up more times than I can count.
Yep.
I'm just gonna make a little coin that says like, "Repel, you idiot," and "You've already repelled, you idiot," and just flip flop it back and forth as I go through the run. I swear.
Nobody got time for that.
Alright, so he's got his boulder badge. He's probably just going to bail out of here. Yeah, that was the only thing in there worth keeping. He's going to go the other way around the spinner this time, so he's not going to just slam face first into him. It just occurred to me, I forgot to look and see if you were right about the Suicune being a Raichu. So there's Ralen's cut. He's probably pretty happy about that, I think. Oh, was it, Kirby fan? Thank you. Not that I doubt it, I was just like, that's impressive. So with Cut, with everything else, he now has all of his TMs. He's only missing, it looks like, 3 badges. He needs the Pokegear, so he's gonna immediately get the Cut check outside of Violet City.
Sorry about that. But yeah, it was Raichu. I like I said, I've been wrong before. The other day I was doing a run where I was like 99% sure that it was a Flareon as Suicune, but it was actually Jolteon. So I'm human.
So we're so far off. Yeah. So, like I said, here's the Lake of Rage checks, and then you're already basically here. I wouldn't be surprised if Ralen goes through and does the entire cycle around and back down to New Barktown. If he does, he's probably still in the lead, but it's going to be a lot closer.
Yeah, and he also actually has the option to do Claire as well. Oh, there's Silverwing, unfortunate. So was it actually locked behind? Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, technically it wasn't. If you make the right decisions before going in there, you could have gotten it before going into Whirl Islands, but like everything happened at approximately the same time, and you would have really had to make that hard read.
I don't think Ralen's broken up about it at all.
Nah.
I think he's pretty happy with his Pidgeot.
Yep, it looks like Ralen is in fact going to be going for the Ice Cave Route 45 and 46 checks. So, if he chooses to do Claire, which would surprise me because it's like 5 fights before you get a chance to get any checks at all. If he chooses to do Claire, then that's something new, but otherwise Ralen's just going to be retreading a whole bunch of ground that we know already doesn't have anything.
I will be interested to see if Ralen decides to do Claire right now or save it until later.
I hate doing Dragon's Den, to be honest with you. Like, I get why it's a good call here. It's like 6 fights, and then you get 5 or 6 checks, so it's pretty solid this late into the run. But like, every single time I do Dragon's Den, it's always been a trap.
And Nate is finally rejoicing as he has just found Fly just a bit ago.
Yay!
It's like I've seen some really bad ROMs for like late Fly, but this one was pretty rough. Oh no! Ralen accidentally pushing the boulder the wrong way.
Ralen, the boulder doesn't go that way, buddy.
Doesn't lose him too much time though. He was able to just go down and check the check that item right then, which resets the boulders.
All you people doing this boulder without getting off your bike makes me frickin' nervous, man.
Yeah, you kind of need to be good at that to run the base game, because to do like any % glitchless for Crystal, because you know, everything has to be as fast as possible. So that's the reason I got good at it. But
I mean, I have never screwed that up, but that's also because I've never stayed on the bike to do it. I always get off the damn bike.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's pretty safe. But also, I run mainly gold, so that the ice path is completely different. It's way easier actually than crystal.
I want to do more speed running. I don't know. I've never really gotten. I'm not sure what it is. I don't have the personality for it, I think.
As Nate also finds the volcano badge, so in terms of badge checks overall, Nate is actually right behind, and so he gets access to the Ho chamber right now as well. He's probably gonna go check that. That might be the first thing he goes to check. In which case, we're actually like pretty close to even here, because Ralen is not done doing the checks that Nate has already done.
Right. No, and Nate won't have to do the flash chamber as well. Nate is still a little bit behind in terms of like the Lake of Rage checks, which I would imagine is probably where he's going to go after the Ho-Oh chamber. But like, yeah, no, they're very close together. I think that between having a better Pokemon to run and having just a little bit cleaner in his fights, I think Ralen is ahead at this point.
It's certainly close.
I'm seeing so many paths that I should be taking in my runs that I don't take for some reason because I didn't know they were better.
I think that path that Ralen just took is slightly slower actually, because than just going down the left side, because you go down 2, or was it 3 ledges instead of 2, and hopping ledges is slower than simply biking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it looks like at this point it's Nate is just behind the Lake of Rage checks, like you said.
Yep. Hey, what do you think?
Now he found the Boulder Badge, so we have exactly synced up trackers right now. So this definitely is still a close race. That accidental reset by Ralen actually cost him quite a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what you thought the odds of Ralen doing. What is Ralen doing?
Oh, wow, this is he's doing the red scale check.
Oh, of course.
They're like almost exactly synced up right now, because he's gonna check this. It's gonna be useless, and Nate will be like halfway done with or just starting Lake of Rage. So Nate is maybe a minute behind.
Maybe, yeah, no, and Nate still technically, I think, has like 1 or 2 miscellaneous checks that Ralen hasn't done, but like in general, no, like Nate is not far behind at all.
At this point, it's basically a crapshoot. Honestly, I think it looks like Raylan's probably gonna go do the checks just south of Lavender, and then he might do the Machine Park quest at this point.
Yeah,
and he can skip all of the items because he did the save scum earlier for all of the items in Rock Tunnel, as well as this Super Odd item.
Yeah, that's true.
So he actually is ahead even more than I thought, because he's already checked that and all those.
I had forgotten about him doing that save scum. You're right. Now, so yeah, it looks like they're both going to be doing the Machine Park quest, which is interesting. I would have thought at least one of them would have gone to Victory to do the Victory Road play. Oh, that's an optional. Do the Victory Road play. Oh, hey, speaking of.
Oh, interesting. Ralen is actually opting to go back to New Bark Town instead of doing the Machine Park quest here. He looks like he might take the waterfall route all the way up to Victory Road, which is interesting. That will be that'll be something that Nate hasn't done yet also. So yep. I'm interested if Nate is going to keep going or if he's just checking the items south of Lavender like Ralen just did.
Yeah, so both runners found the Silver Wing after doing Whirl Island, so neither of them have checked the loot yet.
I think there's
well.
Yeah, I think there's still. Oh, dang, that's unfortunate, Ralen.
Dodged the spinner and then ran right back into her.
Yeah, you missed the one tile turn to the right, probably.
Yeah, it was.
So I think at this point in the run, there's still a chance that if the Snorlax is good, That is the static level 50. If that's good, Nate might still switch to it, but I don't think Ralen would, unless it's like, you know, Mewtwo or something.
If it's really good, like I could maybe see a switch happening to something like a Dodrio. But actually no, not with Drill Peck. Never mind, the Pidgeot's got Drill Peck. I forgot.
At this point, the Pidgeot probably has outscaled most of the 50s simply because of stat XP.
Yeah.
I don't know much about stat XP, but I know that it's made Ralen's Pidgeot stronger than most things at level 50.
Pidgeot strong. Yeah, so Ralen is doing the play up to Victory Road, and it looks like Nate is doing the play to do the machine part quest. Ralen is going to get more checks this way, but Nate's going to be able to do the machine part quest faster. So, it's really a toss-up.
And also important to note that while Ralen did save some time by save scumming the rock tunnel items, he will have to backtrack if machine part quest is required. So that's probably why he doesn't want to do it yet, because he's just hoping that he doesn't have to backtrack at all, which there is a chance of that.
Yep, and that's reasonable. Like expecting that you don't want to have to backtrack. It makes sense to me, and also if you're going just pure item density, Victory Road is probably going to be more checks per minute. So it doesn't surprise. Oh right, there's the Pokedex again.
Yep. So yep, Nate losing time over Ralen officially because now he has the Pokedex.
Yeah. So thinking about it, there's the TM off the guy. There's the expansion card check. There's the lost doll check, and then there's the machine part check.
Okay. There's Cascade. Nice.
Yep, so he only needs 2 more badges now.
Oh, wow.
1 more badge now.
This play might really be paying off for Ralen here.
There's the Pokegear.
Oh, wow, that's the Pokegear. Oh, okay, this is really interesting now.
That's
okay.
Good and bad at the same time, because I don't know how quickly Nate's going to go to Victory Road. He's probably going to be doing the West Kanto. Yeah, he's definitely getting Snorlax. He's going to probably do West Kanto first, and I don't know if he's going to transition that into Victory Road because it lets him skip that route, or if he's going to like do other stuff with the machine part.
Alright, and here's the big reveal. What's the Snorlax? It's a Chikorita!
I love Chikorita. Meganium is not terribly good, unfortunately. It's definitely the weakest of the starters. So yeah, he just runs from that. That's unfortunate for Nate. Nate's not been able to find an overly strong main to run this entire run, and it's hurt him. You can tell that he's lost some time to that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Since Ralen save scummed the rock tunnel and everything, it's actually faster for him to go this way and fight this one trainer instead, because then he doesn't have to go through rock tunnel. Or he doesn't have to. Yeah, so going through rock tunnel is slower, and you can just go this way instead to get to the plant. It looks like that's what he's gonna do. It looks like Pidgeot is in love with Ursaring though.
Oof.
The bird in love with the bear.
I've never come at the power plant from this angle, so I actually didn't know there was only one encounter. I would have thought it still would have been faster to go through rock tunnel than this fight.
Well, you still have to. He would have had to do the fight right before rock tunnel again, since he save scummed.
I forgot about that. You're right.
Yep. So this fight is the fight this way is 2 pokes, whereas the fight the other way is 1 poke. But
more movement.
Yeah, more movement. So overall, this is likely to be faster. And if that Thunder Badge is indeed in West Kanto, Ralen will most likely be winning this race.
I think you're right.
I'm curious if he's just going to go straight for the Snorlax right now, or if he's going to check any of like the Cerulean, the Rocket, the hidden item. We got Nate going straight for Victory Road, just as we expected. So he did all of the checks in West Kanto, between Pewter and Viridian, that is.
Yeah.
So now he's going into Victory Road from the right side.
He didn't do Brock, so at this point, they're very, very synced. It really depends on where this last badge is gonna be, but like, I honestly, at this point, it's kind of getting too close to call again, because of how very close they both are to each other.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's doing the post Machine Park quest checks, so he's gonna check the doll item.
Yeah, and that's gonna give Nate enough time to get out of Victory Road, because there's no point in doing the rival if you don't need to, and get the 2 checks on this route while Ralen sort of cleaned up the same West Kanto checks that Nate just spent. Like, I don't know who's ahead anymore. I really don't.
It depends. I think it'll actually depend heavily on whether or not Nate checks the whirlpool item, because that's a lot of extra movement and it's a useless item. So if he decides not to check it, he might be ahead here. It looks like he's going to, though. Yeah, it makes sense. He's already on the way, so I don't blame him for checking.
Yeah, I absolutely would have checked it as well, especially because it is a lot more movement, but coming at it from this angle as opposed to, he did the thing where you tried to activate a repel when you had to repel up. Coming at it from this angle is a lot faster than coming at it from Tojo Falls. So it doesn't surprise me that this is the sort of direction that he chose to go. I think the longest part of this is going to be watching this particular animation. And I think he's still going to be done with this before Ralen finishes all the other checks over there. So they're within a minute or two of each other. I really do feel. But the question now becomes, where do you go? There's Surge, there's Erica, there's Misty and Nugget Bridge, there's the Elite Four that nobody's checked yet.
Yeah, it really is a crapshoot right now for this last badge. So I imagine the next place that Ralen, probably both of them actually, will check is the hidden item, and then they might even do Nugget Hedge Maze. I'm curious.
So, funnily enough, if I was playing this seed, I would actually probably go do Blaine.
That is also a pretty good consideration. Like right now, right after checking this, Ralen could go straight down to Blaine. Looks like that's what he's gonna do. It's not a bad idea to check this also because it gives you the fly point for pallet whenever you do get the last badge.
Yep, and you also along the way will open up Blue, and Blaine. Blaine is one fight to do Blaine. It's just Blaine himself. Blue is one fight, although admittedly it is a very hard fight. I don't think you can get to. You can get the fly point, I guess, for Fuchsia from this angle, can't you?
Yeah. Actually, that's probably the play that Ralen will do. Because you save a fight by going this way instead of going from Celadon. So he'll probably do Blaine, and then go over to Fuchsia and fight Janine, and then he can check the cut lock. He might have already checked the cut locked item to the east of Fuchsia. Actually, I don't remember.
He didn't
probably
have cut.
did.
He didn't have cut.
Oh, he did not have cut access. Oh yeah, so he will probably be checking those 2 checks right now.
Yeah, Nate has decided that Nate has to go and buy stuff at the mart, and that closeness that the 2 of them had, I feel like just slipped away a little bit.
Oh, and Nate's going down this way, so he will be doing that extra fight before Janine.
That said, though, Ralen just got destroyed by a thunderbolting slow bro.
Ooh, yeah, okay, so having a little bit of trouble on this fight.
I think he missed a damage roll and got paralyzed. So like,
yeah, okay.
I think he's got this win as long as things go like properly for him. Oh, it's got Thunderwave and Thunderbolt. That's just rude.
Yeah, that's gonna make it a little tough for him, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he can do this Blaine fight. And I think he's come to that conclusion as well.
Yeah, he kind of had to, would have had to rely on Thunderwave failing.
Yeah, and Nate's not going to have an easier time of it. He's got to Starmie. That Thunderbolting Slowbro that neither of them, I don't think either of them have a super effective move for either. Oh, okay, so he did, and then he just taught Crunch over Zap Cannon. That Thunderbolting Slowbro is going to be really hard for both of them. And they're synced up and Janine.
Now Nate has Crunch for the Slowbro, so that'll be at least a little bit helpful.
I keep forgetting Slowbro is Psychic.
Oh wow, and look at this, they're synced up both on Janine.
Nate just taught Crunch over Zap Cannon.
Yep.
So they're both on Janine. They're both going to do Janine. They're both probably going to do the cut item just outside of Fuchsia. Ralen has blue. He has the fly point for Cinnabar. That's pretty much it.
This is going to be really tough for both of them. Honestly, it's probably going to come down to Red's lead. I'm not going to lie, because they're both very low level. So if one of them is walled, like if the Red's lead has an ice move, I think Ralen is in big trouble because they're both going to be under leveled. I don't think either of them have used like any of their rare candies, but there's a good chance that one of them will be in trouble.
Yep, Janine had a max potion and a focus band. Nothing there. So they're both done. They're both walking out. They're both probably going to go check that cut item. And then the question becomes where to next. And there's still a ton of, like, not terribly easy fights for them to do. I don't think anybody has checked Sabrina. Nobody has checked Erica. Nobody's checked Surge. Nobody's checked Misty. Nobody's checked Brock. So, like, almost all of the gem leaders in Kanto are still available. The Elite Four is still there as an option. It's a potion. We're still looking. Like, there's a bunch of stuff, and they're down to the Thunder Badge. That's all that they're missing.
All right, so it looks like Nate checking the hidden item, and Ralen is going for some shopping. Looks like.
Yep, nobody's done Dragon's Den either. So at this point, the question comes down to like fights versus check density, and there's not a lot of good options left. Dragon's Den is like 6 fights for 5 checks. You've got 2 fights for 1 check with Surge. You've got like 5 minutes worth of fighting for 3 checks here on Nugget Bridge. Erica is 4 fights for 1 or 2 checks. The Elite Four is 6 very long fights for not enough checks, so nobody's gonna be doing that yet. Probably the fastest checks that could be done is Blaine and Blue, but Blaine's lead is going to be a nightmare for both of them, and I don't know if either of them could defeat level 56 Blue Pokemon either, so... I think Erica is one of the Kanto leaders that gives you 2 items. She also has a TM. So, like, that's not a terrible option, but honestly, you're going to get the most checks at Bridge. And it looks like both of them have come to that conclusion, and both of them are going to be doing Bridge. Ralen realizes, oops, I forgot to go get the item from the gym. Let me do that real fast.
Yeah, interesting. Since he was already there to do some shopping, I honestly expected Ralen to do Erica.
I did as well.
Well, since they're both doing Nuggy Hedge Maze, I'll switch back to Nate's audio here.
Yeah, so Nugget Bridge is, I think, 7 fights for a check, and then 2 more fights for 2 more items, but you can skip one of them with save scumming if it's necessary. I think this is probably the right play, and then after this, I think the next step is Dragon's Den.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised neither of them have done color.
Oh!
Wow, living on one.
Hey, the only hit point that matters is the last one. It's like Magic the Gathering. The only life point that matters is your last one.
True. Unless you're playing Commander.
Shh. We don't talk about that format here.
Ouch. It's the only format I play. I'm hurt.
I've had way too many bad experiences playing a 6-way Commander game with my friends and getting immediately destroyed by all of them.
Well, that's the problem. You're playing a 6-man. I think it's best played with just like 4 people. But anyways.
Yeah. To be honest with you, my commander of choice is also not very good. I really like playing a Scion of the Dragon Toolbox deck.
Scion of the Dragon's pretty good, yeah. Not bad.
It's not a good commander, but it's fun.
Alright, so approaching the end of Noogie Hedge Maze. Nate definitely kind of sad that he got rid of Zap Cannon right now, as he has to 3-shot this Lapras.
Yeah, if you have an electric move, even if it's something as bad as Zap Cannon, hold on to it. Because, like I mentioned earlier, all the grass moves are not good, and water types are a nightmare.
I'm gonna save before this this final guy, because if he gives us an item we don't need, you can just reset. And so if we accept the item that he has, then we have to fight him. So we can just save beforehand, check it, and then reset if it's not what we need.
So Ergote has just pointed out that I hope Red doesn't lead Stab Electric, or we might be here for a while. Oh God,
True.
I want to see that now.
They would both not be happy with that. So yeah, that is a good point. Using all of his PP ups on Surf. Good choice.
On the Lapras, Flamethrower versus Crunch. Flamethrower's base power is cut in half because it's resisted. Oh wait, no it's not. Lapras is Water Ice. I always forget that! Yeah, I think you're right. I think actually Flamethrower would have been better.
Flamethrower probably would have just by itself 3-shot, but he got the special defense fall from Crunch, so that's definitely that's also a factor.
That's true.
I gotta love that. It just barely doesn't one-shot the Kabutops, but then it uses a move that makes it get recoil damage. Oh, wow, Nate also lives on 1, and then gets leftovers, so up to 9. But yeah. He lived on 1 also.
Just, it barely lives, and then it uses a takedown move, and it's like, and I helped.
Yet another double edge.
Everything likes to hit themselves in the face. You know, if something does lead Stab Electric, assuming that Ralen doesn't use his rare candies until after knowing what the lead is, like Meganium might actually not be a terrible option. I mean, it would not.
Did either of them catch it?
Yeah, Ralen caught it.
Okay, I didn't see if Nate caught it. It looks like Nate is doing as we expected, and he's going right for Claire.
I'm annoyed that I'm able to call these things, because on the one hand it means I'm getting better at routing, on the other hand, I'm way too predictable. Because I'm not good enough to beat people without being unpredictable.
I honestly, in these guys' situation, I don't know if I would do Claire. They need 1 badge, so I would prefer to do simple one-off checks. So Sabrina and Blaine. If I was Nate, I would probably do Blaine first.
You probably get destroyed by Blaine first, but yeah.
Yeah, it would not go very well, but I think it's the better choice because since you're only looking for one badge, yes, Claire has the most items available behind it, but it also takes the most time. So if if you sink a lot of time into it, if what you're looking for isn't there, then you just lose so much time to it instead being a one-off check.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you're going to put a lot of time into this, but you're going to get more checks than if you did a bunch of one-off checks, I think. Because if you do this and it takes, like 5 minutes to do all the checks, that's still, you're getting 5 checks out of the deal. If you go do Blaine, that's going to be like 3 minutes for a check, and then if you can beat Blue, you can go do Blue, and you'll get another check in like a minute. But that's 4 minutes in, and you've only gotten 2 checks. And then you go do Sabrina, and you like maybe takes another minute and a half, and you're still looking at 3 checks for the same amount of time as doing Claire does. So I still think that doing Dragon's Den is probably the faster call. The only way it isn't is if one of those one-off checks has it, and you select the correct one-off check first or maybe second. But at that point, you're just flipping a coin anyways. So like, there's no reason that it would be more likely to be anywhere other than here. I'm gonna be rude. I really hope the last item is on Route 4.
Yeah, if it was me, I would not be doing Claire though. I mean, they'll probably prove me wrong, and it probably will be in Dragon's Den. But I would be clearing gyms, I think.
So, for everybody who's listening to us ramble on in the chat and just randomly speculate, let's get you guys in on the random Hey, that's almost vanilla. Let's get you guys in on the random speculation game as well. Where do you think this last badge is going to be? Given, that's rough.
That is really bad for Nate.
That's bad for both of them.
Yeah, that's tough. Ooh, nice crit.
All right. Thankfully, it is only level 37. It wasn't her highest level, but that's not good. But yeah, so go ahead and make a guess where you think this last badge is. I'm seeing some boats.
Yeah, boat would be interesting. I forgot about that. Wow. Nate's somehow not one-shotting with a Bayleaf with Aurora Beam. That's really rough. This Star Mage seems like it is not very good. That's probably rough.
Yeah, it's really not. And it's too late to change because it's stat XP. Like, the only thing that would be worth changing to is a really good Lugia, and he's not going back there unless he absolutely has to.
It would be interesting if it's like a really strong red lead with an electric move, and they both end up going back for the 60, because neither of them got it, and both of them have Silverwing. So
I would love to see that. I genuinely.
It'd be a great ending to the race.
Nate did that thing again where you try to repel when you've already got a repel up.
Yep, go figure.
It's so easy to do, especially if you're working with the long repels and you're in the middle of something where, like, yeah, it was 150, 200, 250 steps ago, but that was also 4 minutes ago, and I've done 6 fights since then. Alright, let's see if Ralen has difficulty with this Thunderbolt Kingdra. Oh, no, he's fine. He's fine. Alright, first check and draft.
Paralyzed.
PM. The lead is too close to call. Like, they're literally following each other. If the badge is in Dragon's Den, Nate has got a big advantage by the nature of the fact that he's already in the Dragon's Den, and Ralen is on Claire. Other than that, like, if it's not here, then it's too close to call, because it's literally whoever finds it first by doing the correct one-off check. Because at this point, we're basically out of places with more than 1 or 2 checks at a time. There's a repel. There's 2 checks left in the Dragon's Den.
And Ralen's making his way to the den right now.
There's 1 check left in the Dragon's Den. I'm so excited I can't stand it. Like, I really am, actually. It's not in the Dragon's Den.
Looks like Vandio wins this time. Just kidding. I don't know. There's probably even if I cleared all the gyms, I would probably still do clear before boat. So if it's on boat, you never know.
It looks like Nate's making the play for Erica. Erica does give you a TM when you beat her, so she does have 2 items. She also has 3 trainers in front of her.
Yeah, interesting. I probably would have done Sabrina first since it's just 1 fight for 1 item, but you know, she might be here.
Sabrina's 1 fight for 1 item. Surge is 2 fights for 1 item. Erica is 4 fights for 2 items. Blaine is 1 fight for 1 item, but neither of them are beating that right now. Blue is 1 fight for 1 item. The Route 4 check is technically 2 fights for 1 item. Brock is 2 fights for 1 item. And then if all of that fails, there's 2 checks behind the Elite 4, which is 36 Pokemon. Nate's using his rare candies. He's tired of not beating these fights.
It probably has been... He probably has lost a lot of time to not being able to one-shot a lot of pokes. But yet again, even so, he's still slightly in the lead, so...
Yeah, but again, like, at this point, the lead basically doesn't matter. If Ralen decides to go to Sabrina, and Sabrina has it, Ralen's in the lead. He's going to Brock.
Interesting. Okay, so here's our diversion. I'm interested to see, actually, assuming it's not on Brock, if he goes straight for Route 4 after this, too, since it would save the fly.
Yeah, Nate hasn't done the soft sand check either. That is a thing. Or how I mentioned the soft sand girls and they're always a trap? This is getting to the point in which soft sand starts to look like, oh god, I have to go do this, don't I? It's 3 very easy at this level fights for 1 check. But we know it's not anything, so... Nate's taking no chances here. He's 13 levels up and he's using X specials. It's like, forget it. It's also
Lantern is very bulky. It'll probably still only die to 2 crunches. Oh wow, it actually. Oh, he crit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's Lantern. Lantern's weak to 1 thing, and it's ground.
And grass.
I thought Electros didn't have any weaknesses because it had levitate. Like doesn't electric resist crash?
I don't know. I'm gonna double check myself.
I'm so bad with resistances, you guys. I can do weaknesses great. It's the resistances that I don't. Electros is pure. What?
Wait, Electros isn't water type?
I could have sworn.
I don't know newer gens.
I hate this game. I'm so bad with the type chart, you guys. You guys don't even understand. All right, it looks like Nate is going for Sabrina. Brock had a TM. The search continues.
Yeah, it is weak to grass and ground. So electric does not resist grass.
And Ralen is making the play for Route 4. So for anybody who doesn't do Route 4, which, let's be real, nobody wants to do Route 4, there's like 17 trainers on the road, and you can avoid all of them except 2 as long as you don't run into them. One of them is your rival. This is rival 7, I think? It's a rival that I didn't know existed for the longest time, because why would you ever come out here?
Yeah, I don't know the numbers.
Rival 6 is in Victory Road. Because Rival 5 is in the basement of, Rival 5 is the one in the Goldenrod Underground, so I think this is Rival.
Which one's Rival 4 then? I don't know. I don't know if there's a rival fight between Basement and Victory Road.
There's not. Give me a minute, I'm being dumb. Rival 5 is in Silphco. That's where I've gotten myself confused. Damn it. Rival 5 in red. Rival 5 is the Silphco.
Oh, I see.
And I just, in my head, it's rivals showing up places where they shouldn't because they have no right to be there because there's a bunch of rockets going on.
Yeah, yep.
So it wasn't Sabrina. We're now getting the Surge gym. We have now cleared the rival fight. Oh, is that how you get... Oh my god, I've been going through Mount Moon wrong this whole time. Whoops.
Yep, so there's 2 required fights for Route 4. The rival fight and then just this one picnicker with 2 pokes.
Yep, so get a Surge check.
So Sabrina gave nothing. I don't know what it gave, but was not Thunder Badge because Nate is now on Surge. And so... we will see. We'll see who's going to end up on top with this one. What is the Route 4 item? It is not the badge.
Not in Gen 2, no. The trash can puzzle is only Gen 1. Alright. Ralen is coming to Surge. If Surge has the badge, it's really going to depend on what Red leads.
Yep.
If Surge does not have the badge, I think we're down to like 4 unknown checks across both games. It's Blue, Blaine, and the Elite Four checks.
And the boat.
And the boat. We forgot about the boat again. 5 checks. Wouldn't it be crazy if this was an Elite Four seed?
It would be literally awful. It is not Surge.
Surge.
Oh, and Nate missed out on a rare candy, which Ralen will get because he hasn't used his yet. Oh, and looks like, okay, so Nate is probably going to be, depending on what Ralen goes to next, Nate is now going to be behind because he is doing Brock right now. I'm not sure if he'll do Route 4, though. We'll see. And also, Nate has yet to do Soft Sand Girls, like we mentioned earlier. So if he decides to go do that, that'll be just an unfortunate waste of his time as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do Sabrina next. I also wouldn't be super surprised to see him do Boat. Boat, I think, like, his next 3 moves are Erica, Sabrina, and Boat. I think any one of those 3 would make sense. The only one that would gain him any sort of new information at all is Boat.
Honestly, what I might have done, just obviously, because at this point you want to save like the most time, not flying to locations, because that's what's gonna, that's where the efficiency lies. Like this late in the game, you want to do checks that are close together. So what he could have done, so he had to check the doll item still. Oh wow, it looks like Ralen's going for exactly what I was just gonna mention, going straight from Surge to the boat because you can surf between there.
Yeah, he's going for Boat.
Makes sense.
Nate still hasn't done Soft Sand, but Nate was not going to go do Soft Sand as his next check.
Yeah, almost certainly not. He might go to Route 4 after this. So the boat quest, you just have to go fight this guy to let the guard, have the guard let you pass. and Ralen making the good choice of not hitting the green-haired guy, since that guy's only there if you're coming from Kanto on the boat. If you're going from Johto to Kanto, that guy is not there.
Yep.
But it's easy to get hit by him.
This is very easy to run face first on Dome. I would know. I've done it a bunch. So, fun fact for you. There are 2 fights in this game that you can lose and still progress the plot. The first one is Rival 1, and the second one is this random sailor.
Yeah, they make it so that regardless of what happens in this fight, you get healed, and you get to continue. Because if you lost the fight and you got warped to your last Pokemon Center, then you would be locked out of the boat, and you'd be soft locked because you wouldn't be able in the base game. You wouldn't be able to continue to Kanto in any way because you can't get the pass until you're in Kanto in the base game. So that's why they did that. It also automatically sets your Pokemon Center to the place you're sailing to.
Is not the boat.
Not the boat. I'm interested to see where Ralen goes next then.
I think it's going to probably be Sabrina.
I don't know why he's not flying somewhere. Is
Yeah.
there something he says? Oh, he hasn't turned in the secret potion yet, has he?
No, he has. He has.
Oh, why didn't he? Maybe he doesn't know you can fly from the harbor?
Yeah, I think
Interesting.
he doesn't think you can. I think he thinks you can't fly from the
Oh, he's trying blue. Interesting. Even more new info. Okay.
Yeah, so this is new info. We're down to like 4 checks. There's a 25% chance it's here.
Because it's just Blaine Blue, Elite Four, and it's just those 3, right?
That's it. Yeah, there's 2 behind the Elite Four.
Yeah, right. You're right.
So we're down to 4 checks between the 2 of them that we haven't seen. Now, obviously, they're not entirely well known. Like, Nate doesn't know about the boat check or the soft sand girls or Brock.
Wow, Thunder Punch Rapidash. That's gonna be tough for both of them.
Yeah. This is gonna be tough for both of them because Nate's also making a play for Blaine, and so Nate's gonna run face first into the Thunder Wave Thunderbolt Slowbro.
But he has Crunch, so he should be okay for it. And it looks like as long as Ralen doesn't get a bad crit here, he should be okay to get past this fight. Well, yeah, it looks like he's okay, and he doesn't get paralyzed as well.
Of course, that was only 1. There's still 5 Pokemon left.
Yep, he was able to get some setup though, since the Rapidash used Withdraw for one of the turns, so he's at +3, I think, which should be fine with Stab Drill Peck. A Metronome Psychic from Steelix, interesting.
All right, Nate's about to run into the fun, bro.
He did use all those rare candies also, so he should be able to beat this. It might actually one-shot. Wow, close.
All right, he's fine.
No para, so he's chilling, yeah.
All right, so we're about to find out if this is an Elite Four seed. We're about to see the other 2 non-Elite Four checks. So, if it's an Elite Four seed, God only knows. If it's
it's not blue.
If it's not an Elite Four seed, Nate wins.
It's actually going to be so sad if it's Blaine, because Ralen was there earlier and he couldn't beat it. It's not. It's an Elite Four seed. Oh no. Buckle in, folks. We're going to be here for a while.
Oh my god. I am so happy right now.
Wow. This was a dark crit seed. He would have done Elite Four probably 45 minutes ago, and he would have been done.
This is 100% seed with the worst fly I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, the fly was also not great. Barely under 2 hours for Ralen, and about 2:08 for Nate. So yeah, and Nate's probably gonna end up doing Soft Sand Girls before Elite Four as well. So I think Ralen actually has the edge now.
I think you're right.
I'm gonna switch over to Ralen's audio since we now have all the information we need to know who's in the lead.
So Fly was in Tin Tower, and the badge was in Mount Mortar, I think.
Yeah, they both got the badge pretty early. They were looking for the Fly HM for maybe like, I don't know, at least 45 minutes, right?
Well, it was because it was in Tin Tower with the Clear Bell in Whirl Islands, where Flash was in the lighthouse, and just neither of them went to the lighthouse forever.
Yeah, it did take both of them quite a while to go to the lighthouse. You're right about that. Wow, is Ralen doing Elite Four right now?
There's no way. He hasn't done Erica and Sabrina.
He just did Sabrina.
Oh, he just did Sabrina. Okay. He's doing the Elite Four right now.
Interesting. I don't know what other checks he had left. I think you're right. He hasn't done Blaine. Or did he do Blaine just now? I don't remember. I don't think he's done Blaine.
He's not done Blaine. He might think he's behind. Nate's doing the boat. Nate's probably going to do the Soft Sand Girls. So, did he do Erica earlier?
I don't remember.
Because it was a very late cut. Because it was in Flash Chamber. And I don't remember him having done Erica since then.
Too much to keep track of.
We're looking at 100% seed for pretty much both of them. Like, we've got to have some. You got to cut us some slack. But yeah, no, he must just think he's behind. And so at this point, I think he's probably thinking, if it's on Erica, I've already lost. But I have a chance to win if it's the Elite Four. Little does he know. I love full item randomizers for so many reasons, not the least of which is you are just drowning in cash most of the time. But the other reason is that Elite Four seeds are so much less likely, and yet here we are.
Here we are.
So I was thinking about this earlier, and I had mentioned earlier that you need a specific 21 items to beat the game. One of them is not Surf. And so part of me just wonders, how likely is it to get a seed where you don't need Surf? And Surf is like in Mount Silver.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't think I've ever seen... in my head, I'm comparing it to...
Or even heard of it.
Yeah, in my head, I'm comparing it to a seed for Uter that doesn't require Zelda's Lullaby, because it's kind of the same thing. So the tiebreaker for a three-way group stage, because somebody asked in chat, is the three runners are going to have a three-way race, and the top two make it. So, like I was saying, there's a ton of items locked by Surf, but it's technically not required. If your Kanto access is via the pass and you find Cut, along with all of the badges and all of the stuff you need to awaken the Snorlax without needing to do any Surf checks, it is possible to have a seed where you do not need Surf. So, like, in my mind, it's like the Zelda's Lullaby not required seed in Ocarina of Time Randomizer, in which it is theoretically possible, but nobody has ever seen one, and odds are good nobody will ever see one. Still, it's an interesting idea, right?
Yeah, I'd love for someone to do some sort of like Yeah, happy 3 hours, by the way. Happy 3 hours. I'd love for someone to have like a bot run simulations of making ROMs, where they go until the spoiler log shows that Surf is like in Mount Silver or something.
That would be amazing. Actually, I would love to see that.
Looks like Nate is now going for. Oh, is he going to Elite Four right now?
It looks like he is, yeah.
He is. Okay, so we've got a race still. He's probably like 5 minutes behind-ish.
Yeah, at this point, this race is Ralen's to lose. If something goes catastrophically wrong at the Elite Four, which is unlikely, or something goes catastrophically wrong with Red's lead, which is more likely, then Nate still has a chance, but this race is absolutely Ralen's to lose.
So there's a few scenarios. Well, obviously there's the scenario where Red's lead is free, but there's also scenarios where Red's lead has a strong ice or rock move, in which case Ralen is not having fun. There's the situation where Red's lead has a grass or ghost or dark type move, in which case Nate's not having fun. And then there's the case where it has a strong electric type move, and they're both not having fun.
They've both done Sabrina, and yeah, that's pretty much the way that it's gonna shake out. I have no idea what's gonna happen with this Red fight, but it's gonna be fun. The original Smith, you also get out. You're fired.
Yeah, is this Nate's last check? It might be.
Here's the other thing that no, never mind. I was about to say something that is not correct. The other thing that might cause this to go catastrophically wrong is if Ralen gets the SS Hand ticket check and forgets about the Rainbow Wing check and goes to Erica. I don't think it would happen, but the possibility is technically there.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that. I'm surprised that he would skip Erica though. Maybe he doesn't. I feel like he knows that it gives 2 items, but I don't know. It is 4 fights, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's still faster than the Elite Four, which is why it's a weird decision that he chose to do that. It's basically, assuming everything goes kind of normal, it's won him the fight, or won him the race, but it's a weird choice. It's a good choice, it's just a weird choice.
Wow, Ralen has 6 unused candies. Wow, that's definitely gonna make a big deal if it's a rough Red lead. I think he will have quite the advantage. They're both pretty high level now because they've had to do all these Kanto gems, but Ralen will definitely have the EXP and like level lead.
Absolutely. Like I said, this race is Ralen's to lose at this point. Gorak brings up a good point. He probably figures that if Erica had it, the seed would already be over. And that
actually is a very good point. Since he thinks he's behind, he probably assumes that Nate has already done all of the gyms, and that Nate might already be partially done with the Elite Four. That's actually a really good point.
Neither of them have to shop, I don't think. They both already shopped. Alright. Ralen is through the Elite Four. I can't believe we got an Elite Four seed on the second race of this tournament.
Yeah, yesterday's race was that round was so nice in comparison to this one.
Wild Hunt, so they're not like straight up informed, but they can see it via race time that their opponent has done, and so they'll know that they're done. But nobody's like going to go to them and say, "Hey, the race is over. You've lost."
Right.
There it is.
And there it is. All right, so there we go. So a nice full card, basically, seed. And Ralen got through it without Pokedex.
Yeah, like literally the only check that we didn't see between the two was the Rainbow Wing.
Ooh, no GGs yet, chat. No GGs yet. They both have to fight Red in Mount Silver before we can call GGs. And that often is the decider, and it will certainly be the deciding factor for this race.
Yeah, I don't love either of their Pokemon for this Red fight, by the way. Like,
nope.
They're not bad, but they're not good.
Yeah, it's weird to think about, actually, because I think, generally speaking, Water Psychic is a much better typing in general, but it still has 4 weaknesses. And then, Pidgeot Normal Flying still has, how many is it? 3 weaknesses, right?
Like that.
Ice, Electric, and Rock.
Yeah, it's just weak to the normal flying stuff.
Yep, and it's not weak to fighting, because it cancels out.
Normal flying is dumb typing, because they gave it to literally all of what should have been the pure flying types until Gen 5.
Yep.
Like, there's 3, I think there's still only 3 pure flying types in the entire game. It's Tornadus, and then Rookity and Corvisquire.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Everything else is flying normal for absolutely no reason.
Ralen only has 2 candies? Did he just use some and I missed it?
He used them all, yeah.
Okay.
I think what he's doing is he's saving 2 in case the Meganium is needed.
And here we go. Here's the moment of truth. What's Red's lead gonna have?
That's
Suicune. Okay.
It's not the strongest dog. It's actually the weakest, but it still has the potential to be very strong.
It's quite bulky, and it's got Flame Wheel. That's not a problem for either of them. Burn isn't a big deal, really. Simply because unless Ralen doesn't have
he's got
full restores.
Full restores. He bought.
Okay, now Suicune's spamming Nightmare, so this looks like it might be a free setup.
This is a free setup. Yeah, this Suicune doesn't have anything else.
I have no idea why it's spamming Nightmare and not Flame Wheel.
I'm willing to bet you he doesn't have another move.
Might have a ground move or something. Imagine he has Earthquake, and the AI is just, and he's gonna use that on Starmie.
Oh, that'd be so rough.
Looks like, unless Ralen runs into a Steelix or something here, it looks like this may be in the bag for him.
Yeah, I don't even know if a Steelix would be enough to oh well, that Drill Pack didn't even do a full kill, so maybe.
Yeah, Suicune's very bulky, and Pidgeot's attack, Pidgeot is a female, so low attack, but this might not kill either. Okay, that does.
Yeah, it's probably a full sweep through at this point, but like that was close.
Oh, why did he waterfall there?
No,
he dies. He dies to Corsola with Blizzard. Okay, well, not done yet.
He went for the super effective move, forgetting that it was physical. Forgetting that it was special.
Yeah, this might be a little rough. Corsola, he basically just has to hope that... Oh, he's gonna revive Stall Blizzard. Okay. Interesting choice.
I mean, it does only have 5 PP, so it's not a terrible move, but he's gonna have to revive Stall the Blizzard. I mean, at this point, sack the Staryu and the Blastoise.
That's actually fine, because he's guaranteeing that it's gonna use Blizzard on the Chikorita. By reviving the Chikorita.
That's right. How am I already so bad with the type chart, you guys. I'm just gonna stop saying super effective stuff.
Okay, so now Corsola is stuck in Thrash, which shouldn't kill Pidgeot here.
It should. He's gotta set up again. He's gonna exit set up.
Okay, yeah, that does nothing. No surprise there. Okay, he's setting up specs. Okay, interesting.
He chose not to heal at 55 health, and then it hit itself, and then he chose to heal again, so... Okay. Nate is like, I don't have time to do this with lights on, I'm going through in the dark. And he's right, he doesn't have time to do this with the lights on.
Oh no. Corsolo's using Cotton Spore, he doesn't have the guard spec up. That might be an issue as well.
All of this might be an issue, but, like, at this point, Nate's just gotta go. Nate has to go.
Okay, this. Oh, he didn't use those last two rare candies either. Wait, why is he using? He's using X speeds. Nate still does have a chance here.
Yeah, Nate has
that
to
doesn't kill.
It's Razor Leaf is what he had.
Oh no. Yeah, that's pretty bad for Nate. Oh jeez.
He can survive it, but it's gonna take a lot of healing.
Oh, Razor Wind miss! Oh, that's so lucky for Ralen. Wow, that's really lucky. Oh, a Scizor. That's not gonna die in light screen. Oh, crit! Wow, I don't think that would have died without the crit.
I think you're right.
And that dies. But okay.
All
right, and that's game. Wow. GG to Ralen. Wow.
Dang.
That was so close.
They're going to be very, very close to each other.
Wow. Honestly, that's this comes as a little bit of a surprise to me because I mean Nate is very good. They're both good for sure, but I definitely expected Nate to be the one to come out on top for this race.
I think if Nate had found anything in Kanto, he would have won. Like if he
for sure.
Any sort of runnable main during those couple of minutes that he checked Cycling Road and the harbor, if he had found anything at all worth running, he would have won.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, does Razor Wind kill here? Oh, crit. He's fine though.
But yeah,
I'm wondering if he just straight up forgot about the physical special split. That the fact that Waterfall wasn't physical. There's no way he could have, right? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, there he is. Welcome, Ralen.
Congrats.
Oh.
Stressful.
Oh boy.
What a seed.
First race being E4 required. How you feeling?
I'm feeling. I don't know what, I don't know why, but I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think we're right there with you.
So go after you guys started doing Kanto gems. Go through what you were thinking when you decided to go for Elite Four.
I know that Nate is a pretty strong runner and probably a bit better, a bit more, a bit cleaner movement and such, but more knowledgeable the fighting stuff and such. And yeah, I didn't really know how I hit the seed, how well I was routing, and yeah. At some point, when you're only missing one badge and you're creeping up on the 3-hour mark, knowing how strong your opponent may be, or knowing how strong your opponent is,
yeah. So you figured that he would have been done by now if it was a gym.
If it was an easy thing, and
right?
yeah, the longer it goes on, the higher likelihood it is that it is E4 or E4 is a decent gamble to make, since it takes so long. Almost no one will do it really early, and yeah.
So what checks did you have left? You had Erica and Blaine. Were those your only two left?
Erica, Blaine, and Morty.
Morty. Okay, you skipped Morty. That's what I thought.
Nobody
Yeah.
ever does Morty.
Nate did Morty this run, actually. Yeah.
Nate did do Morty this run.
I think he did it late though. Which is interesting.
It wasn't super early, but it wasn't like the 2 hour 45-minute mark. I feel like it was earlier than that.
Oh yeah, go through how you were feeling when you accidentally reset away after the Ho-Oh chamber, Ralen.
Before you do that, actually, I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that BadNewsNate has finished with a time of 3:16:01.
GG's to both racers.
BadNewsNate. Sorry, please continue.
There was a really bad moment where I thought, oh no, what did I do? How far did I reset back? And then I thankfully remembered before I loaded in that it was actually before the whole one. It was maybe 2 minutes I lost, so not the worst, but my heart skipped a beat there.
Yeah, that's
not the reset I wanted to do.
Yeah, because I know I don't save nearly as often as a lot of other runners do. So definitely very fortunate that you were saving relatively often. Also, the the PC saves help out too. You've got at least some sort of recent point. So it didn't end up being too bad for you. Also, that Pidgeot worked out pretty well as well. Drill peck, and then you got to use some PP ups on it.
I mean, stab drill peck. Is there anything better, really?
You're right.
Aside from maybe stab surf, but that was Well, I like my PP ups on drill peck, and then just spam one move and go through.
Yeah, yep. The shiny Articuno, by the way, we fainted, had stab, drill peck, stab, ice beam.
Ooh.
Yeah, Nate caught it, and he ended up having to use it for a couple fights where he died because he was actually running with the Starmie the whole time. You gained a lot of time on him because he went to Kanto relatively early, looking for a new main. But he lost probably 5 or 6 minutes looking for a main and didn't find anything.
And then he struggled with a bunch of different fights. Like, not his fault. It was rough for the Starmie.
Yep.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then, he also lost a bunch of time because he couldn't rappel through the waterfall section of Mount Mortar. So you gained some time on him there as well.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
How do you feel about the red fight also? What were you thinking with that waterfall?
I was just praying, please don't be a water type in there, or please don't be water stone in there. There too, or anything I can't really hit with drill peck or strength. Then it turned out okay. Kozla, please don't let it have a good move. Well.
So much for that, yeah.
Yeah, I knew I didn't have Earthquake, I didn't have a decent fighting type move or such, so I bought the Mass Revives for the fringe case that there's something I'm not able to punch through the first time, and I may have to PP stall, and yeah.
Thankfully it was Blizzard and not something else, because at least that's a pretty quick PP stall.
Yeah. Fortunate.
So, one thing we noticed was that you held on to 2 of your rare candies. What was that about?
I had the option to switch off to grass toys if the red fight really wasn't able for Pidgeot.
Grass toys. Yep.
Yeah, that's what we figured. I just wanted to double check.
Yep, I had I knew I had a crunch and a Psybeam TM in the back. In my back.
So you had some options.
item options to get through there if I really need to.
Yeah, and
And-
also, neither of you got the 60 because neither of you had the Silver Wing when you went to Whirl Islands, so we didn't get to see what it was. But
Immediately after leaving the Whirl Islands, which was hilarious.
yep. Well, congrats. Do you have your other run scheduled for sometime soon?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's definitely a pretty good win there. I not gonna lie, going in, I definitely expected Nate to win by at least a bit. So I think that's a pretty decent upset.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great race. It was so much fun to watch. You guys did amazing, both of you.
Alrighty, and right now we actually have it's like I mentioned earlier, we got Snow Bear and Shadow Frost going on right now. I believe the I assume we'll probably be raiding that channel right after this. So thanks again, Ralen, for joining us after this race. Thanks again to SpeedGaming for hosting the tournament. And I believe that'll be all for us for now.
Just real quick, I just want to say, everybody who's watching, make sure you go and give both Ralen and BadNewsNate a follow on Twitch. They're both really cool guys. They both do a lot of really interesting stuff. Also, go and give a follow to our tracker as well. We absolutely could not have done it without him.
For sure.
Garfield the Lightning, thank you so much for doing everything. Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? I didn't actually ask.
Oh yeah, Ralen. Is it Ralen or Ralen?
I don't really care either way, since I'm
That's good, 'cause
German
we're using
and
both.
since I'm German and I'm usually doing German commentary and such, I'm more used to using the German pronunciation, which would be Ralen. But
Okay.
I really don't care either way.
Okay, gotcha.
So go give him a follow. Go give Vandio a follow. Like, go give everybody involved a follow.
Yep, go give Glacial a follow.
Yep.
PG Weaver.
Yeah, that seemed like a smart idea at the time, and it just confuses people now.
Alrighty.
But yeah, so I think we're done. So
Alrighty. I believe with that, we're gonna head out. This has been part of the Crystal FIR tournament. Stick around for more fun tournament and speedrun action. Thanks, everyone.
Or go over to Speed Gaming 5 and watch more Crystal Randomizer going on now.
You betcha. Alright, see ya, everyone.
Bye.